Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. Black Monday is here, and if you've missed all the excitement over the last few hours, here's a little catch-up for you. The Falcons, they decided to fire Arthur Smith immediately at midnight. Don't know why, but they did. Washington Commanders have announced that Ron Rivera's not going to be back next year. The Panthers have fired their general manager, and also the Commanders have decided to do something a little bit interesting as they have officially hired NBA Executive of the Year, two-time NBA Executive of the Year, Bob Myers, to run the franchise. This man was the architect of the Golden State Warriors. And as of right now, Bill Belichick says he's still under contract. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three Town 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Monday. It is Black Monday across the NFL.
Black Monday.
Their heads being just lobbed off shoulders around the league today.
Not around here yet.
Not yet.
A pause. Take a pause.
So a lot of debate about that topic. I'm glad you brought that up. Before we get into
Yeah,
it.
because it's not like we were going to talk about it at all today or anything.
Today is a fire hose day. Just put your mouth around the fire hose and try to drink some water because there are tons of topics and we've got it all for you. Don Davenport is here.
What up?
What up, Babsy?
That's bunk. That's bunk.
The fact that I was wrong about the Titans and Derrick Henry is bunk. But happy Monday to you.
Where would you like to start with what you were wrong about on Friday?
Well, I was wrong about everything, so.
Can I say something to that?
Oh, I'm sure
Before you
you've
do,
been planning
Braun
on it.
Slay is here.
I'm in the building.
That's what you get.
What I get that for?
I've had that planned all weekend.
But what I do? What did I do to get that, though? You just can't get it.
It's just for the king. I didn't get to do it on Friday, so I wanted to make sure I did it today.
So that ain't for me. You should have did that for the king. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Listen, after all week, Slay going under 63.5, all of a sudden, the light clicked on, and he went 365 yards rushing. Guess what?
That's
what the King's going to get.
That far off.
So guess what? Ha. Joke's on you. I told you that's what everybody needs to turn around and say.
With every run, I kept texting y'all, joke's on you.
Joke's on you. I'm telling you. Listen, it's a time it's sometimes you got to go with feeling. And yours done this a lot to me on Fridays.
But listen, you got to go with your gut. And when you have a big gut, you go with your gut.
And it's there. So you might as well go with it.
Hitchcocking all over the place.
Everything.
Yeah.
Going into it, so that was my parlay. On the, what's the name of Hitman and Mickey and
Ding Dong of the Week.
Kayla and Buck, the show they do.
You're talking about Titans countdown to kickoff.
Titans pregame.
I was
countdown.
Like,
countdown.
I was like, you calling your shot? Well,
So
I was going through everything.
You call into that show every Sunday.
But
Every
I'm
home
fried.
game
I'm getting fried. So, But I always give my parlay. And my parlay was Travis Etienne, over 55 yards rushing. Derrick Henry, way over 51.5 yards rushing. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. And Ryan Tannehill, under 196.5. You know what he hit? Like 190 or something. Boom! $35, pay you $900.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all.
Wow.
Dang.
Joke's not on me.
Hey, you're bringing in wings tomorrow.
$90. $35 get you $90.
Those that missed on Friday.
I see you at Super Bowl. I get you a Super Bowl.
I said the King is going out
Put it
in
on your
style.
payback list.
He's going over because he had averaged 63.5 yards per game
you did.
all season. I said he's going over. He's going out in style. Don goes, how? I said, I don't know. The offensive line is going to take one of those pills that makes them super friends.
Can I say this?
And then Derrick Henry's going to be Superman. And then I said, and the Titans, the bet of the week, Titans plus the 4.
Said it.
And money line. And you go, how? And I go, I don't need to know how. I just know what's going to happen.
Where the hell has that been all season?
Listen,
All of it.
Skorowski
All
was
of
a
it.
damn all-pro Sunday.
Sure
yesterday.
did.
Was that yesterday?
Sure did.
Yep.
God, it feels like a week ago.
And then there was a fake Dillard out there.
There was a fake Dillard. It was like a mannequin Dillard.
Yeah, the one Dillard went down on the knee and got brought out the game. Another Dillard went in. That wasn't the same Dillard.
That wasn't the same Dillard.
Hell no. You know
How
what
about
Dillard
the
do.
Jags, by the way?
They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. And you know me, I hate the whole shame on
Yeah,
you, but
they got to wear
really,
this one.
this is for your playoff hopes,
And the
you
division.
can't show up.
And the division.
It happened to the Titans last year, except the Titans were scrambling.
Well,
they
but
had
the Titans
Josh
had
Dobbs at
so
quarterback.
I was going to
So
say
many
the Titans had
injuries,
so many injuries at that point. They were done. Like there's at least an excuse there. And I know you can say that the Jags have had a bunch of injuries and their quarterback wasn't 100% and
it's
whatever
still
else.
the
But
Titans
still,
who had 5 wins going in.
Exactly. It's a 5-win Titan team and an offensive line. I don't care who's out there that can't block your mom. And
In a walker.
My mom's pretty feisty.
On a walker.
your mom is feisty. But
She's not on a walker either.
no, she's not on a walker.
Right. Not
We
yet.
won't do that to Mama Doherty. So, but anyway, wow.
So they gave up 2 sacks. The first
All that
sack
to
was
say,
on
wow.
Tannehill, 100%.
Yeah.
He stood back there for like 6 seconds and then just ate it. And I'm like, man, come on, man. Those guys are fighting. Throw it away.
Help him out.
I don't think you got the arm strength no more.
You live, son. You live to fight another day.
To fight another
Well-
day. I don't think you got the arm strength to throw it out no more.
It was very clear in his mind
Seriously.
with what he said the last couple of days that
Yeah.
he thinks he can go be a starter somewhere.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Ego, man.
Listen, y'all.
Ego
I
tripping.
think I honestly can go get 12 points playing professionally right now. My body, performance would say different. Unless we're going to play half court.
Yeah.
We play 3-on-3 or something like that, I can do it.
Like in the Ice Cube League.
The problem is you got to play 5-on-5 with 3 officials and a bench. Doesn't work that way. Now, so maybe he can go play 7-on-7. Yeah, he'll be. Woo.
If I'm Ryan Tannehill, I'm
Cold-blooded,
selling
7-on-7.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Joe's
Look what
throwing it
look
for
what
real,
that
though.
38-year-old did. I'm younger than him.
Better make his arm strong.
Look at my year
He
2
is,
years ago.
He might be 39 now. His birthday's in mid-January.
Who, Flacco?
Mm-hmm.
I just like to say, be on the record, I don't see it.
You don't see what?
Tannehill.
Him being able to do it.
Oh,
Flacco's
me
still airing it
neither.
out.
Me neither.
Flacco's
I'm
still
just-
airing it out.
But we've had this conversation. None of us think that, right? But what does he think? He thinks
yeah.
he can because he's a competitor and
That pass to Kyle
And
Phillips
he's him.
shows me he can't do it. That out route to DeAndre Hopkins,
Yep.
the out route to Traylon Burks show me he can't do it. Like, Jacksonville really should have had 2 picks going the other way with Green in front of him. But
Does that Derrick Henry performance change your mind about
Nope.
his future?
not me.
Because I think we're all on the same page coming off saying that Derrick Henry's not the 25 carry back, carry a team. And part of that is because of what the NFL is now and,
Yep.
and what offenses do, right? Like
Yep.
you definitely have to preface it with that. But I mean, there were times where he looked
No, he
like the
looked
Derrick Henry of old.
fantastic. This
Yeah.
was Derrick Henry. I'm not falling backwards.
Right.
And
what did
to
he
his
hit?
credit,
He
he
hit
didn't
like
get touched.
21, 22 miles per
Yes.
hour on the
Rolling.
GPS. And,
Rolling.
you know?
But remember I said, man, your last game, when you see that window closing, is something else as a competitor that clicks on. And,
Yep.
dog, you just go different.
That's why I thought he would have a
Go
huge day.
different.
That's why I thought he would have a huge day.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Like-
19 carries, 153 yards, and a touchdown. It's interesting that that's the most yardage he's had in a game this season. He also moved to second all-time Titans Oilers franchise history past Earl Campbell. He's within 1,000 yards, inside of 1,000 yards of Eddie George. I mean, ultimately, like if he had another year in his deal, that would be awesome to see him play one more year. But my thought is that they just want to move on and change the offense, change what they do.
And let me say this, too.
And
Euro.
you're locked into what you do with him out there.
If that line was going to perform like that, that line performed like that because they wanted to go out on a high note too. You know, like it was a lot into that game. Will that same energy mentality be in game 8 of next year?
Sure,
Would they be
sure
seeming
as
like?
heck
Would they
better.
be? We are with new guys maybe, but then that's a crapshoot again. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Well,
want
what
to.
if you have a new coach and completely new staff?
Then I think they're going in a completely different direction offensively. Then.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Like that was great right there. He was 8 yards a carry. Like,
8.3.
come
Yeah.
on, dog. That's
As opposed to what, 3.6, I think, the rest of the season?
and his
3.9.
first touch was on the
3.9.
second level. Sometime like that.
Yeah.
Like
He had more than 100 yards before contact.
That ain't. Come on, y'all.
We haven't seen that all year.
Nope.
But this is how you get management. I've done it. This is how you go out perform like that. The fans get on your side. Man, y'all got to sign them back. You know who I'm calling as soon as the game's over? Dave. Hey, man, David Lee. Hit him up now. I'm telling you, I got him. I got him on the hook right now. Yes, my agent. Immediately, get on him.
Yep.
And guess what? I'll take about 10,000 less. Oh, we got a bargain. We get them back just like that. Oh, the fans going to be happy. Hurry up and sign them. I'm telling you, I've done it. I've done it. By game 15 the next year, I'm like, ooh, my body. Body hurting, boy. Coach, I need a couple of weeks. Like, I'm telling you.
Well, that is one thing where coaching staff does matter, too, because he's got a staff right now with the Titans that understands that. Right. I mean, how many rest days did he have, like, every practice?
D-Hop, too.
You know, and D-Hop, too, yeah. Mm-hmm. But props to Derrick Henry, too, and we'll play some of this throughout the show, but just how he addressed the fans after the game, how he addressed it seemed like every employee of the Titans franchise. I mean, he treated it like it was certainly his last game here with the Titans, and he did it right.
He did it. He went out in style, went out on a high note for sure, and the King's legacy is cemented in this market. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. Titans in Jacksonville season with a 28-20 win yesterday. We will talk about it. Also, the Mike Vrabel situation. What's going on there? Woo! I think what you're seeing with all these like 50-50 he's back or gone stories is because people don't know. He hasn't had the meeting yet.
Yeah.
So from what I'm told, we got to wait and see what happens in that meeting, and then we'll see what happens. But this was not going to be he's done on Monday thing.
Well,
because they're contrary too.
We got to hit a break, and we can really dive into this next segment. But, yeah, also he's under contract. Mm-hmm. And let's say Miss Amy and the Titans do want to separate from Mike Vrabel. Mm-hmm. You're not going to fire him if you can get something for him.
That's exactly right. And so you may be able to massage that trade situation because he is under contract and all those things. So if you're doing that, it's going to take a little time. Listen, we broke a lot of stories on this show. There's no question about that. But I'm also going to tell you just from my perspective, and I know you guys will too. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. And I don't know.
I don't know. I've heard things.
Right.
But I don't know.
Right. Exactly. So there's that. Evan and Bake Chat is open. If you want to watch the show live, you can anytime. YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
3HL is on 104.5 The Zone. 615-737-1045. A lot to get to today. Hear from the King next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? It's a new year and a great time for you to look at a generator for your home. Now, the one thing that's not going to change, like the year, is the weather. The weather's going to be there, man. It's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy, a little bit of everything. That's why we got people that you can depend on with Cove generators. Like somebody like Cove generators, they know Generator Dave. You know him, Babsy?
Oh, yeah. He's the expert on everything generators. That's Generator Dave. Family-owned company, Cove Generators, which means you deal with somebody who cares about you. And this is my favorite part, too. Your technician, your project manager stays with you for the duration of the ownership of your generator. Lifetime partner to help you and make sure you are prepared if things go wrong. And Cove Generators knows how to fix things. They know how to make sure your generator is up and running and ready whenever weather is coming through, because that is absolutely all they do, Slay.
Well, hit them up, 931-559-3311. That's 931-559-3311, covegenerators.com. Terms and conditions may apply.
Yes.
So call for details.
Cove Generators, your premier Generac home standby generator dealer. Stay connected through it all.
Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, new or pre-owned. These guys are going to be able to help you out. My friend Daniel Cupton and his crew ready to help you. They're going to get you in the vehicle that's right for you. There is no pressure at all when you go see my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. I bought multiple vehicles from these guys. They're awesome people. So tell them what you're looking for. Maybe you need something with a little more room. Maybe you need something that is a little less expensive. Maybe you need something that's more reliable. They'll be able to help you out. You take your test drive. You go inside. They'll help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. Check them out, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com, and you can check out the dealership information there. The inventory is there, all of that at GuptonMotors.com. 24 West toward Clarksville. Exit 35 is 9 miles outside the city. And it's a straight shot into the best vehicle buying experience you've ever had. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Prince Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. The executive producer of 3HL is Joe Hunk.
Sup?
You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
615-737-1045 if you want in. We have a myriad of topics for you. The Titans knock out the Jags 28-20. And y'all see that coming.
See you, bye. No, you did.
I didn't.
I didn't.
Well, yeah, but so on Friday, we usually don't. So Todd Furman comes on every Wednesday at 4:20. Mm-hmm. He and Payne Insider have a Bet the Board podcast. A guy named Brad Powers does college football with them, but they handle the NFL themselves. And their best bet of the week was Titans plus 5.5.
Yeah.
And so I talked to Todd, and Todd said, if you can get 4, get 4. And so by the time I went in, it was 3.5, but I bought the extra half a point and went 4. But then I also did money line because that's what me and Slade do sometimes when we get emotional about something.
I believe it.
And so that's why. It wasn't like some, genius plan of like breaking down Titans, Jags, and like anybody saw the Titans offensive line performing like that. Like nobody saw that coming. But don't you feel good for those guys that they can go out on a note like that? Like Will Levis gives them all luggage, right? So like they can use the luggage to move out of town, but they can move out of town with a great performance for the King.
And good energy. Good energy packing up.
It did feel good. If you're a Titans fan, it felt good.
It did.
To have a win. Even if you went from, 5 to 7.
Yeah, I mean.
Whatever.
You can still go get your guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the 7th pick in the NFL draft, that's where they are. We were monitoring that during Titans Talk Back, Dyson and I. And it came down to, like, strength of schedule. And I thought they might, in the moment, actually jump the Giants because the Giants were playing the Eagles. But the Eagles sucked so bad down the stretch that it didn't help.
How about the Eagles?
Man.
5 out of 6 down the stretch.
Oh, AJ.
Mariota was in the
How you
game.
feeling?
Mariota was in the game.
For the Eagles?
Yeah. Jalen Hurts hurt his finger. They were down 24-0.
Yeah, the Giants were spanking them.
Listen, they were 10-1. And you're sitting there thinking, they're 10-1, and 2 of their last 3 games are against the Giants.
Easy.
You're like, you can't nobody could screw this up.
Except them.
And man, they're ready to fire everybody's butt up there. By the way, Art Smith let go, obviously with Atlanta, shortly after midnight.
Yeah, they wasted no time.
That was quick. Did you see him lose it in the handshake?
Yeah.
I mean,
F-bombs
and all.
Yeah, that's tough right there.
Artie. Hey, OC. Looking real good on you, Art.
Yeah. Sometimes, it's always worth a try. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear a lot of coaches say, man, I can't pass up this opportunity. I may not never get it again. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Well, let's start to settle back in. Let's settle back in the way you're comfortable at.
You're saying the Peter principle? Sometimes you get elevated above where you should be?
You're like, yeah. Go be great where you are. I like being great where I am. I don't do a home job. Like why would I want to go in there? I like being right here. I go in there and mess all kind of little buttons up. Travis be on the air. He ain't supposed to be on. Like, it's wild stuff.
We have a new salesperson at 1045 The Zone named Travis. He's sitting in, watching what we do. And we always say, nobody, hardly ever does anyone ask us to go into some broadcasting class. I know you got to go in one time. But it's because, we do it differently than anybody.
Yeah.
You can't – I wouldn't teach this method to anybody.
Trust me, it's why I cringe sometimes.
Dawn, let's just say
I
Dawn.
used to be a journalist until I joined these fools.
That's my joke to her. Dawn had an adjustment period, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's a consummate professional.
Mm.
Keeps us on the tracks.
I still get on both of y'all's butts sometimes.
All right, so the Vrabel stuff. All right, Jacina Anderson this morning, leaked source to me on whether Mike Vrabel continues with the organization and questions about whether everyone's on the same page. The direction of the future, they said, I'd call it a 50-50 right now.
But, okay. Why even put out a report then?
That's 50-50.
Right?
Guess what? I don't know.
No Shiano, Sherlock.
Let's go with that.
Good job. Good reporting. Which I actually did see her tweet. She unblocked me at some point.
Hey,
wow.
Babsy.
I'm
I still don't know
back.
why you were blocked by Jacina Anderson.
I don't know. Because she said something stupid, and I told her it was stupid, and she blocked me.
Babs, you about to get blocked again. You just got off.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. If she's putting out stuff like that, I don't need to see it. 50-50.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Report. He might be gone. He might be back.
But he might be back. Although, I mean, if I were to put a report out, right, it would probably be a 50-50. Well, actually, I wouldn't even go 50-50.
Yeah, but why tweet that? Why report it? Like, we
Exactly.
do sports talk radio. So, like, I mean, we're talking about, like, what we hear and things like that.
Right.
And, I mean, we had Clowney for you. We've had a lot of things on this show.
Yeah.
I don't know on this one. I think people around the situation genuinely do not know because
I know for a fact
he
that
hasn't had
people
the
around
meeting.
this situation,
don't know.
at
Don't know.
least lower level that I've talked to, do not know.
Right.
Do not know their future. Do not know.
But it's because I was told he hasn't had the meeting yet.
Here's part of my
He didn't
take,
meet with the
though,
team today.
which is not totally out of the ordinary, but
He didn't meet
in
with
the
the media
last-
either, and that is
out of the ordinary.
out of normal.
Yes. And no GM either. We usually have that set up like the week after the season 2. We don't know when that's coming yet. There is a lot of uncertainty. And my take on that is when you have that much uncertainty, there's something awry. There's something not going well. There is dissension. There's problems in some kind of a relationship or power or whatever. And, you know, to me, I wouldn't put a 50-50 on Vrabel coming back if this is where they are.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 70-30.
Yeah.
Just because it's no leaks. Like I like this. That's
70-30 on what?
Him not coming back.
Not coming back. I don't
Yep.
think so. I don't think he's
I don't
coming
think he's back.
But it's a guess. It's not. I'm telling you. Like I'll tell y'all. Like usually, like when I do stuff, like I'll say I'm hearing this,
Right.
and then like perk up. But
Right.
to y'all's point, like there's just not a lot going on there because I think the head man needs to talk with the head
Woman.
lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I do too.
So 70-30, Slay?
Yeah, just because it's off kilter like this, like in is like, how do you not know? You know what I'm saying? And how does anyone
and
under
to me,
you not
if you
know?
don't know, then that's your answer,
Exactly.
right?
That's how I feel. Yep.
That is very much how I feel.
That's the funny part
Unless-
about watching the reporting.
Right.
Oh, 50-50. Okay, awesome. Like,
Yeah.
There's a 50-50 chance it'll rain tonight. I don't know. Like, who
Right.
cares?
The only thing that the thing that we don't know is this a Vrabel unhappy? Is this a Miss Amy and the franchise unhappy? Because if this is a Miss Amy and the franchise unhappy or not willing to give something that the head coach wants, then guess what? Miss Amy wins.
Right.
Because I'll tell you right now,
Yeah.
Miss Amy is not going to not make a decision that she feels is the right one because she fired Mike Mularkey after a playoff win. Yeah, she does things her way. She's a smart, savvy businesswoman who knows what she's doing, and she wants to let her football people do their football jobs. And if there's something that's coming in between that,
I've heard those words out of her mouth.
there's an issue.
Yeah. She wants to know everything that's going on. But, yes, she wants the people that she has hired to do their jobs. Yes.
Yeah.
That is
And that's
that
what
is true. It could just be irreconcilable differences, though.
Could be.
Like I left a previous radio station because I felt like I had done all I could do there. So my contract was up. So what did I do? I priced myself out, basically.
Right.
So I'm like, if you meet this price, then yeah, I'll stay here and do this and blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't that I was unhappy or they were unhappy with me. It was just like, it's time to do something else.
It was like my first marriage. Irreconcilable differences, right? Like, we're still friends. He's an awesome dude. I'm remarried. He's remarried. Sometimes you just got to move on.
What did you lose? The toaster?
The blender.
The blender, yeah.
No more shake.
The
Babsy got on the
freaking
Mayomi
blender.
one night. She ordered the damn blender. She fixed that problem.
You got that blender, Babsy?
I do. And guess how many
Hey.
times I've used it
How many?
since I drunkenly ordered it?
How many times?
One.
You made margaritas?
Oh, and by the way, that was like 5 years ago.
Good job, Babsy.
I'm telling you, man. That crock
Could have done
pot.
okay without the blender.
The crock pot and the blender. That's it.
it.
She's got it going,
Gotta
man.
do it.
She's got that pot roast that she'll do once a year. And she's
Whenever
got-
I lose a bet to my husband and I have to cook, yeah.
All
That's
right, here's the
what did you make in the
crock pot.
blender? Was it a margarita?
no, I think I was on like a week of, I'm going to eat healthy and do a smoothie with fruit or something. And then
One
I never-
time?
One time, yeah.
One time she got healthy in 5 years.
Give it a go.
Let me get a smoothie up in here.
Yeah. Meh,
Yeah.
whatever. So anyway,
so
is this a Vrabel Miss Amy divorce coming? I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because I think it was Kaharski was talking to Ryan Tannehill, right? And Tannehill said it's not weird. Like sometimes we have an end of year meeting with the coach, sometimes we don't. So like that part wasn't weird. But him not meeting with the media, that is weird.
That is weird. Yeah. We always have that.
And locker cleanout day, which was today.
I don't remember the last time that we haven't had that. Even if it's like on a Tuesday.
Or the game was on Saturday and then it's like Monday.
Right.
Yeah. What do you smell? Right, what do you smell here, Betsy?
Right. I do think though, like if the more info, the lower it goes down the chain, the looser lips get.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So in order to keep it
lips are tight right now,
that's what I'm. So it has to be a small who has the tightest circle.
Her and him.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
and Rand.
Yeah.
We don't hear from Rand.
Nope. So I think that's
And I think that's also telling.
The last time we heard from Rand was Teron Davenport's story that he did where he interviewed Rand and Vrabel. And I remember us having the conversation on the air. That's when I said I could see a scenario where he's not back now. Because Rand said, I don't care who has control.
Right.
That doesn't matter to me. And I'm like, that's quite a statement from a GM. What that told me was that he didn't have control, and he was putting Vrabel out there. Whether he meant to or not, that's just how I took it. And if he did mean to, I thought it was smart. But I don't know. Like, that was the first time I thought, okay, so Vrabel, and then I started talking to people. And so what I've heard is that Vrabel has hand, meaning control. And so if you have control and you're 6-18 in your last 24, that's a bad combination, man.
Yeah, somebody got to get out ahead of it. It's you.
And then if the story is that he's making demands about stuff, then what?
Yeah.
Really?
You can eat.
And is that happening because he wants out?
To my story.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then he's in New England. The funny thing is, if he goes to the Patriots, the Titans host the Patriots next year.
Oh, Lord.
That'd be a great game.
They host the Jets.
I don't like that. I don't like a Vrabel against old team.
You don't like that?
In that kind of. Oh no, that would not be pretty.
Depending what kind of coach you get.
What would the reaction be for him?
You got to get somebody to be able to counter that because he coming in for blood.
Yeah, yeah. No doubt.
You think so?
Oh my gosh.
Hey boy.
That dude is one of the most competitive ex-players, head coaches ever. I mean, you heard it.
The Titans
dropped
host
the F-bomb in a press conference about losing.
Boy, that tells you something too, doesn't it? Like, this is one of those things where, like, okay, if Vrabel gets traded to the Patriots, then you can look back at some of the things that have happened and be like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. Because there have been a lot of weird things.
Well, and that was
It doesn't mean it will happen, but if it does, I think there are a number of things that have happened where you could look back and go, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, should have seen this coming.
There's numerous things this year.
Yeah.
If you look back and say, okay, this, that, yeah, no doubt. So, and maybe it's obviously it's too soon to look ahead to this, but to bring this up too, what do we always say when we talk college coaching searches, right? When fan bases lose their mind and want their coach gone, and you look at the fan base and you say, who are you going to get that's better? Who are you going to hire? We've done it with Vanderbilt a million times, right? Yep. Who are you going to hire? Who do you have in mind? So if this is a scenario where the Titans or Mike Vrabel are looking to leave, what's that next step? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, do we believe at this point still that Mike Vrabel is an elite coach?
I think the consensus around the league
really
is
good coach.
I think he's a good coach, but I think the consensus around the league is, you know what I'm saying, as far as
I still think he gets the most out of his players. I think he's a player's coach. I think he can manage a locker room, even though we've seen some issues, I think, this year, but losing does that to everybody. But yes, I agree with that. I also think he probably needs to let his assistants actually coach, maybe, but,
Trust him enough about it.
let his coordinators do their job, maybe. But that is, I mean, I definitely think he's a player's coach. I think that's important for this franchise and this market, right? But, when you look ahead, what's your plan moving forward? You don't just get rid of a coach or fire a coach if you don't have a plan moving forward. And at this point, time-wise, that's why I'm like, we might not even know tomorrow or the next day or this week, because time-wise, with the way the NFL is, if you're looking to hire a coach that's in the playoffs, you can't.
Right.
You have to wait.
You can't. You cannot start interviewing until the 21st.
Right. So you can't start doing that. You also have to make sure you've got the right amount of minority coaching candidates in, like legit minority coaching candidates in, so it's not like quick, here we go. We'll get rid of Vrabel or we'll trade Vrabel and do this and then jump into it too. I mean, this is a completely different conversation, I know, from just the original of is Mike Vrabel going to be here or not, but there's so much more that goes into it.
And on top of that, if you got a new GM that's coming into a situation, like those it's not like J-Rob was here. A new GM walked into this situation, had to be already processing, man, if I had an opportunity, I got a guy. And
Right. Like this isn't my coach.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I think he would know.
Let me ask you this, too.
That means he get his opportunity to be the GM.
This style of football is Mike Vrabel's style of football, right?
No question.
So if they really are trying to move away from this type of offense, is Vrabel that guy?
His OC's not. Can't be.
OC's not. We'll talk about it next. 615-737-1045. Black Friday in the NFL from a Titan perspective.
Monday.
3HL 1045 The Zone.
Yeah. What's happening, folks? Ron Slay here, man. A new year has approached, and we're sitting right here in it. We are off and running. Man, it's time to get your health ready and rocking and rolling. Go to Low T Center. It's only $25 to get your T level tested. Make your health and quality of life a priority and make it a great year. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Now, right now, this is not a typical doctor's office. It's a concierge medicine for men. Their physicians specialize in treating low testosterone. So go dive into it. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Join the Nashville Predators this Saturday. Is it this Saturday? Yeah, the 13th, January 13th. They take on the Islanders at 7 o'clock at Bridgestone Arena, and it is a big Saturday night in Smashville. Plus, hockey is for everyone night. It's celebration of all the diversity in Smashville, and hockey is a sport for everyone. The NHL's United by Hockey Mobile Museum will be on the plaza for fans to enjoy before the game. The Traveling Museum is a free fan experience. Pretty cool. It celebrates hockey's trailblazers, change makers, business leaders spanning various demographics. You can join in the fun. You know, Smashville games are always fun. Get tickets for the game at NashvillePredators.com/tickets.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. We got a lot going on. We told y'all this is going to be a wild off season.
It is.
We're headed down that path, too. Just in the break, I'm now with you, 70-30.
I was just going to
Come on,
say.
listen.
Just reaching out.
I love space over here. We got one more spot back here in the back seat. Babs, you want to rap?
Oh, I already think he's gone.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
in the
yeah.
car. You at the rest stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just waiting for us
Get some
below.
snack machine. Yeah. Don't give me some Doritos.
Yeah.
Purple bag.
I
Sweet chili.
already
That's
think
right.
he's gone. I think the decision's made. I think you wait to see if you can get some kind of a trade coach-wise before you just, cut the ties. But, yeah. And we can dive deeper into why I think all of that. But I think, yeah.
We were just,
You just can't.
talking
You
with one of our peeps, and you can get very high compensation for a head coach.
Yes. This has happened 8 times.
What you got over
in the
there, Babsy?
NFL coaches history. Yes, 3 8 well-known head coach trades in NFL history. All of them pretty heavy capital. Can I skip like 70, 97 was Bill Parcells, 99 was Mike Holmgren. 2000.
I mean, I'm interested in that stuff, but yeah, most people probably not.
Okay. How about I start with 2000?
Okay.
At least we're in the same
Yeah.
vicinity. Coach involved Bill Belichick.
Yeah, from the Jets.
Yes, Patriots trade a first, a fourth, and a 5th round pick to the Jets. It worked out for them, though. This is his, 24th season, 23 seasons in New England.
I'd say it worked out.
6 Super Bowls. I think that, But you know what also helped? Tom Brady. So 2002, John Gruden. You remember this one.
Yep.
Bucks trade 2 first-round picks and $8 million to the Oakland Raiders. And Gruden won the Super Bowl in his very first season.
I hear he's already being connected to the Titans, Joe.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, stop
What? Everybody else is already saying that.
Cut your
Rumors.
mic.
Stop it. 2006, Herm Edwards. The Kansas City Chiefs trade 4th round pick to the Jets for Herm Edwards, and then he went 15-33 in his seasons as the Chiefs head coach before being fired. So that one didn't work out too well. A 4th round pick, though, that's not a ton of capital. 2019, Bruce Arians, the Bucks trade a 6th round pick to the Cardinals, and Arians went on to win the Super Bowl in his 2nd season there, retired in 2021. And then, of course, we remember last year, Sean Payton, Denver Broncos trade a 1st and a 3rd round pick to the New Orleans Saints. We'll see how that turns out. But so some big capital in some of those. Thoughts?
May happen, man. You end up with 2 first-round picks?
See ya, Vrabel.
2 top 10 picks.
See ya, Vrabel. I said this 2 months ago.
You said it a while ago, yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry. No coach is worth.
Well, some of them are.
No, they're not. Listen, it's all about the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and the O's.
Well, in the NFL, it's a little bit different.
No.
College football, you can out-scheme people with that. But
This team, without the Jimmy and Joes, won 6 games.
So there is
with a hell of a head coach at the helm.
So the
if
New
you're going to
England
give me 1st and 2nd and 3rd round picks for a coach, I am all in.
The New England Patriots have the number 3 overall pick. So what if you end up with Marvin Harrison Jr. and your left tackle?
Yeah.
What if I gave you that option?
You rubbing your hands and salivating at your mouth. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's showtime.
Sorry, Vrabes.
It's showtime.
We love you and all Vrabes, but
it's showtime.
Yeah. I don't know though. Yeah, can you get that much capital for a coach that
I don't know.
hasn't won
So
a lot in the last?
The thing about New England
years?
that's different than other franchises that I think you have to take into account is his playing career there.
Right.
And the love affair and the romanticism that they have for Mike Vrabel. I think that there's a price that you can put on that that's higher than anywhere else.
Agreed.
Potentially.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Outside of that, I don't know. A lot of y'all are saying in the chat, Vrabel ain't going for a top 10 pick. I get it. I don't know. This is like.
Don, you must really believe in this quarterback Levis.
I do.
I do, but what does that have to do with it?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what did he show
do,
you
though.
not to believe in him, though?
Yeah.
By the way,
I mean,
Will
a couple
Levis,
points there. And also, what does that have to do with anything? Because You're just getting more talent
Right.
around him.
Will Levis had something interesting to say today. He was talking about leadership moving forward, and it felt like he was talking about, okay, as a quarterback, this is my team now moving forward. And that he was talking about how it was kind of weird for him, in terms of like a leadership role with Ryan Tannehill still there, which I thought was an interesting thing. So he yielded to him. And that made me think of when they made the change at quarterback, when Tannehill was no longer injured, he was healthy and able to go, and Levis still let him take the first snaps at practice. And then Tannehill was the one that said, hey, man, this is your show now. And I always think that that's a weird thing. And from a player perspective, Slay, like, you've got to show respect to the old head, right? Yeah. But now that Tannehill's gone, you may see a different level from Levis.
Yeah. Like you start to hear, he speaks with a different confidence. Like I think he knows what it is. He knows he's QB1, even with this last game that took place.
I remember Tannehill saying the same thing
when he took over
for Marcus. Yeah.
Which was odd yesterday.
A similar thing.
With everything that's going on here, to see Marcus out there throwing the ball for the Eagles yesterday.
Right.
615-737-1045. Let's go to David in Lebanon next up on 3HL. Hey, David, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yo.
Excuse the rough voice, just getting over it. But it would be curious to see how much – you can't – the Patriots can't give you all of their draft picks for a coach, but you're right about the love affair with, the being a homeboy, playing up there and all that stuff. But, hey, if Vrabel goes, I say send Burks with him. Shoot. I do like Vrabel, but Burks, I don't know. Probably may not get anything from him, but we got some up and coming guys. I really like to see, but that's I'm just throwing that in there. Thank you.
Just threw that bag of marbles in there with that couch on.
Throw Burks under the bus there.
Hey man,
he definitely hasn't shown first round worth yet, but
you got to look at it too. If you're looking at it in the situation with Kraft, he would probably take his time and go get it, but he's also a guy that can go get what he wants. And there's no need to stray too far from what's worked if you got some, like a foundational piece in Vrabel. You know what I'm saying? If you're getting rid of, if Belichick's walking, if you're getting rid of him, walking away, however you want to put it, why wouldn't you bring back in a champion that's helped you put those banners up? I think you feel comfortable with him. You can have that conversation with him. He knows the, air quotations, Patriot way.
Oh, he was fit so well.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Kraft going to get what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a draft, that's cool. We'll find something in free agency. We got plenty of money. You eat some cheese? You like macaroni and cheese? we go get us what we want. Now, I'm just saying. We can get whatever we want. So.
There are already there are 5 openings. Atlanta Falcons, Art Smith fired just after midnight. Washington Commanders, Ron Rivera fired in Washington. They've already requested to interview Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris, Ravens associate head coach Anthony Weaver, Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, and Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. I've seen Ben Johnson's name like on the Vegas list
everywhere.
For Atlanta also. Robert Saleh in New York, reportedly safe with the Jets. Of course, that's the Aaron Rodgers thing. He expects to keep all 3 of his coordinators as well. Panthers fired Frank Reich earlier. Josh McDaniels gone in Vegas, and Brandon Staley out with the Chargers. Those are the 5 openings. 615-737-1045 is the number. When we come back, you'll hear from the King as he addressed the crowd at Nissan Stadium following the game. First class. That's next. Sirius 1045 The Zone.
All right, maybe you're like me, and now that the new year has started, you want to organize your house. Poor Mr. Babs, he hates me right now. He's like, "Don't you have a football game to go work because you're annoying me?" So I'm just gonna call Artisan Custom Closets and let them come in and do my home office and help me in my playroom and organize my house. That's what I did a couple years ago in my garage. They came in, put an entire system in my garage. Places for all my Christmas decorations, places for kids' bikes and toys and all that. And then I can get my car in the garage. So when it's cold, boom, it can still park in the garage. Bless you, Slay. ArtisanCustomClosets.com is the website. Say goodbye to clutter. Say hello to calm in 2024 with Artisan Custom Closets. I've done it before, and they are awesome. By the way, they are a local business, not a large chain business. Their products manufactured right here in the Southeast, not cookie cutter items. Everything is customized for your home, and they will stay within your budget. Mention Dawn at the Zone, and they'll give you 10% off for whatever you want on the new year. Love Artisan Custom Closets. That's 615-800-2199. Give them a call or go visit them online, artisancustomclosets.com. Mention Dawn and get your 10% off.
What's happening, good people? Kellum, StemCellInstitute.com. Holistic stem cell therapy brought to you right now on your doorstep, man. Well, not on your doorstep. You got to go to Dr. Kellum's office to get on his doorstep. But I'll guarantee you when you walk in there, you're going to go through a consultation, and every answer that you're looking for or every question that you have will be answered. And after that, he will reconfirm that you shouldn't believe the myths or anything. It's your body, your cells, your solution. Why wouldn't you want that to help heal you? I did it. I listened. I needed my knee to get done. I was tired of the inflammation, sitting on airplanes and stuff. I always having to get up, stretch it out. And it was just, the inflammation was like a burning sensation. Went in, and I felt immediately, 10 minutes after getting my cells put back in me, redeployed, automatically went away. And I'm telling you right now, I believe in it because I did it. And you should do the same thing. Congestive heart failure, asthma, arthritis, all of that taken care of. 615-850-4415, KillumStemCellInstitute.com.
Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Honk. Titans just a few minutes ago announced that they have signed 6 players to reserve future contracts, including cornerback Shaheem Carter that saw a lot of action this year. Future contracts, what they do is they go into effect the first day of the new league year. Since there's no practice squads during the offseason, the players are allowed to sign through the offseason as they get prepared for next season. Not getting prepared for next season will be Arthur Smith, at least for the Falcons, because he is no longer their head coach. The Commanders have also made a few announcements where they are firing Ron Rivera, and they have signed and given basically the team to the architect of the Golden State Warriors, Bob Myers. He will be running the team after winning 4 NBA championships and being a 2-time NBA Executive of the Year. And as of 4:01 p.m. Central, Bill Belichick still under contract, according to Bill Belichick. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Brett Doherty with you on a beautiful Monday. I keep saying Black Friday. It's Black Monday in the NFL.
Hey, man.
There are 5 open jobs in the NFL.
Whew.
Maybe another one in Nashville.
Uh-oh.
Maybe one in Chicago. Eberflus. Couldn't you see a scenario where Jim Harbaugh goes to the Chicago Bears? And that they're just waiting for this national championship game tonight?
We sure will find out. That's an offensive coordinator's last name. That's not a head coach's name.
Eberflus?
Yeah.
He was.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He don't need to be no head coach.
So Chicago has pick number 1 and pick number 9.
Wow. That's some collateral out there, boy.
So if they decide they're going to ride with Justin Fields, what's he got 2 years left on his rookie deal? I think that's true. Well, he's got the 5th-year option. But if they decide to ride with Justin Fields, they could go Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1 overall.
Yeah. But that line is terrible too, isn't it?
I mean, they suck as a team, so probably not very good.
They've been running for his life. so.
They did win a bunch of games down the stretch.
They did.
But they didn't beat the Packers. Bears fans want to beat the Packers.
Yep.
Justin Fields does have 1 year remaining and the 5th-year option.
So 2 total. Diana Rossini, coaching staff and players in Tennessee haven't been given an update about the status of head coach Mike Vrabel. I was told they are all waiting to hear.
Wouldn't it make sense for that meeting to happen like soon?
Yeah.
Like we're all kind of waiting for that meeting to happen. It would make sense that would have happened today, I would imagine.
Yeah, at some point, it's got to be done. Unless you were waiting to field calls.
Because there's 5 open jobs. You got to get in line.
Yep. You got to dangle that carrot in front of somebody.
The thing that would hold it up is what we said at the beginning of the show is like if you're trying to trade him, which my guess is they are, right? Mm-hmm. To the Patriots. I don't know. And that's what my guess, like, doesn't that all make sense, right? Because it's so quiet in New England, too.
It is.
Well, and somebody on our chat said, and I'm sorry, I can't, it's up there. So
it's moving quickly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But why would he want to go, which ESPN is talking about Belichick's future with the Patriots as we speak. But, why would he want to go to the Patriots? They have just as many holes and whatever else. But I'll tell you why. A couple of reasons. Bill Belichick was in there and had, for a long time, complete control, right? We know that Mike Vrabel would like control of his roster.
Control. You're dressed like Janet Jackson today, too.
I am.
So
it's
all
the
makes
hat.
sense.
It's the black 3HL hat.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's, the ability at a fresh start. There's the ability to have more control about what is on the field because we know that was a problem with him and John Robinson, right? They didn't agree on certain things. Like if there's a situation where you're a head coach and you feel like you're not getting what you need at a franchise as far as the ability to make decisions, or that is going away with a new GM that came in last year, then there's a reason for you to want to go elsewhere, right? Like, I don't think it's out of like crazy to think that Mike Vrabel would not want to go to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, there's a lot of other reasons other than what the roster is, but having complete control of roster construction is a big part of it.
Do you ever look at a situation and you feel like you've seen this movie? Like you feel like I've already seen all this play out, like it's already scripted. That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
This feels like the Titans are moving on. They're going to trade him to the Patriots, and there you go. And they're going to change the way they do offense. Derrick Henry will be gone. Ryan Tannehill will be gone. It just feels like that's what's going on here. I don't know. There was a story about Bill Belichick meeting with the media today, and he said he was asked about the possibility of giving up personnel control to remain with the team. Belichick didn't close the door on the hypothetical. Quote, look, I'm for whatever we decide collectively as an organization is the best thing to help our football team. I have multiple roles in that, and I rely on a lot of people to help me in those responsibilities. Somebody's got to have the final say. I have it. I rely on a lot of people, other people to help. Whatever that process is, I'm only part of it. Belichick did not provide a definitive answer, however, on whether he would want to coach another team if he does not remain with the Patriots. Weird, man.
Al Yankovic.
Sports drama, baby.
It's here, baby. It's here.
We've been telling you.
Usually the Titans are not involved in it.
We've been telling y'all this is going to be the wildest.
Things have changed.
This is going to be the wildest offseason in the history of Titans.
Our lines are loaded.
We're headed that way. Before we go to the phones, I know Hunk is on the phone. Hunk, can you hear me as we double down on some things that we need to do? The King. This was so cool after the game. Able to go out in style. We talked a lot about that last week, how great it would be for him to go out in style. 19 carries, 153 yards, and a touchdown. He's over 1,100 now for the season. 4th time he's been named to the Pro Bowl as a starter. Very, very cool. What did he do after the game? He picked up a microphone and addressed the crowd in Nissan Stadium.
Titan fans, I just want to say thank you for the greatest 8 years of my life, the ups and the downs. Y'all been there for everything, through the adversity, watching me grow as a person and a player, always supporting me. I love y'all. I love seeing the 22s in the stadium. Hopefully I was an inspiration to all the young kids and everybody in the community. Just thank y'all so much. Man, God is good, and tighten up, baby.
So post-game, Derrick Henry addressed the media, and he was asked why he addressed the fans after the game.
No, I was just saying in the moment. No, it's been a great 8 years. I've grown. A lot has happened through these 8 years. I turned 30 in year 8, and had my daughter through these 8 years, and I've just grown as a person and a player. Had some great teammates, great coaches, and the fans have been there. The fans have been there through it all. So it was just just a thank you to them. I know how I worded it probably got blown out of proportion a little bit, but it was just a thank you speech, just showing love to the fans.
Dial it back a little just in case.
It's a tad.
Oh, man, that's funny. We talked about on Friday, like, how cool it was going to be because we all knew, like, they were going to figure out a way to chant his name in some way, shape, or form. How did that feel to him?
Felt good. It kind of felt like 2018 again when it first all started. It's very cool to be able to, experience that, knowing that they did the same thing for Eddie. Who I idolize a lot, so it's just cool to have that relationship with the fan.
It was dope hearing it. It was
hearing the chants.
It was like, dude, it was consistent. Like he break a run, it's Henry.
Did you hear like a little spattering of jokes on you?
I
jokes
did.
On you.
I heard the
jokes
ha-ha.
on you.
Ha ha. I was like, hey, who's the joke on? Where did they bring that ha ha from? Where's Babsy?
Babs just texted us in the middle of the game. She goes, I hate being wrong.
Hate it.
They won and he dominated. The offensive line looked like a real offensive line, like a legit
I was wrong on
professional
all 3
offensive
counts.
line.
It's so many times in that film you can pause it and it's a hat on hat.
Yeah.
Like it's somewhere for him to go.
How many times did Skoronski get to the second level and just driving a guy and the King would run by him?
Out of there. Like
was part of that who was next to him?
Crazy.
Who, Dillard?
They
just changes.
They can't fall for that.
I know.
The okie doke?
They better not fall for that.
Dillard presented them with the okie doke?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to him? Like, did somebody, like, you see these movies where people, like, take over the body of somebody?
Mm-hmm. Like on Space Jam.
Space Jam, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it just the Jags jagging?
They have a really good defense, though.
Yeah, and that,
like Josh Allen has 17 sacks.
And he's a dude.
He got
they
Dylan
played.
once.
They played possessed, man.
Like the Monstars.
Yes,
That's what happened.
They did.
Mm.
They did. They played possessed.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to lose that game. That was real.
They wanted to send the king off, too.
Yes, they did.
And Dice was talking about this from a player perspective.
And Ryan Tannehill.
And Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Dice was talking about this from a player perspective. Like the chance to knock out your rival and to end their season.
Yeah.
There's
That's
a
a hell of a
lot
feeling.
there with that.
That's a heck of a feeling right there.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. That was wild, man.
I mean, they could have won the division and hosted the Cleveland Browns. All they had to do was beat the Titans.
The lonely Titans, who hadn't won a divisional game all year long.
Oh, 9 in a row. That would have been 9, and they had lost 8 in a row, divisional games. That's a good point. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been 9 if the Jags would have gotten it done.
Gotten one. It was the one that counted.
Also, we talked about this, I don't know, a month or two ago. Has Trevor Lawrence hit his ceiling?
Bro, they blamed it on Urban Meyer first.
That dude has 7 turnovers in the last 3 games.
He's not healthy.
He's lost 5 in a row.
That's true.
Yeah, there's that.
Yep. Them balls they sailing over the heads of receivers. They ain't even close to the receivers.
Because he wasn't 100%. We talked about it on Friday.
Yeah, that's why
We had heard that he was 50% if he played.
They should let, what's his name, Beathard?
C.J. Beathard.
CJ Beathard.
Mm-hmm. They should let Beathard get on that, though.
From Franklin, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
615-737-1045. Let's go to Keith in Portland. Keith, what's up?
Oh, not much. I appreciate you taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Great season this year. Appreciate the coverage. Love the channel. Just wanted to interject quickly and ask what your thoughts were on if Vrabel makes the move to New England, does the King go with him? And much respect for the season and all the seasons King has given us.
Great question. I have no idea where the King goes.
No.
That would make some sense. I know Matt Hayes, who does a show at 1010XL in Jacksonville, was on with Blaine and Mickey, and he kind of joked like, "King goes home to Jacksonville." Couldn't you see that?
I heard that.
Play the Titans twice.
I don't think the King
Jacksonville.
can do that. Yeah, have too many other suitors for him to have to settle for that.
Kansas City.
I talked to a former player one time that had a workout in Indianapolis after they left Nashville, and they were like, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm. I can believe
I remember that. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Can't do it. Because for so long you've hated him.
Yeah. Tough to put that on.
615-737-1045. Chris in Nashville. Chris, what's up?
Hey guys, I want to give you my take on Vrabel and the team. I can't see Vrabel going there, and the reason why is, again, I'm assuming he has some level of control. Maybe he has no control, but why would he want to go to a crappy team who's giving away their best draft pick for him? Now he's got nothing, and now he's worse off than he's got some draft picks, got some draft capital, and he's got one of the biggest paychecks or bankrolls in the NFL next year to get what they need. Vrabel's not the problem, although I'll say the biggest problem with Vrabel is his homer picks for offensive coordinator. He needs to fire the current one, too, and bring back Arthur Smith. I know that's a pipe dream, but that's the challenge. But the problem is the O-line. I've been saying it all year long. The O-line showed up. Well, what's up? We won. The defense isn't the problem. They've been keeping most people under 21 points a game. If we could just score 21 points a game on a consistent basis, we'd win. Right?
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know what the numbers are. And you look at Derrick Henry, 50% of his carries, he's hit in the backfield. I wonder what it's like for the other people around the NFL, the other successful backs.
Yep.
I bet if he didn't get hit before he gets to the line 50% of the time, he'd have more yards.
Well, he had
I go back to
150.
The
He had
biggest
100.
problem is the O-line.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. He had 153 yards when he didn't get hit. It's 50% of his runs he's hit at the line or behind.
Easily.
And that was a stat like 3 weeks ago, so it could have gone up. I don't know. They did a great job on Sunday. I know that. Voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, coming up next. We'll talk more Titans football. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Want to tell you about Belmont basketball is back in action this Wednesday. Head over to the Curb Event Center to cheer on the Bruins. They are hosting Illinois State. You can visit BelmontBruins.com for the schedule and for ticket information. BelmontBruins.com. Bruin fans, single game tickets on sale now. Make sure you stop by the ticket office or go online. Purchase at BelmontBruins.com. Don't miss out on all the free giveaways and promotions all season long. Tickets starting at just $10. Ticket representatives are standing by now. You can text or call 615-460-BALL, 615-460-BALL. If you text, someone will text you back right away. So, again, family-friendly atmosphere, tons of fun, great thing to do for the family. Again, 615-460-2255. That's 460-2255. You can text them. They'll text you right back. Or visit BelmontBruins.com. Belmont basketball, it's Bruin time. Best entertainment value in Nashville. Safe, family-friendly environment. Upgraded concessions, including kid-friendly and healthy choices. Free covered parking close to the Curb Event Center. Belmont basketball, it's Bruin time.
All right, so I want to tell you about Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Pella's awesome. I know you're hearing lots of window ads nowadays just because it's cold outside and maybe you realize it's time for new windows. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you I needed new windows and doors over the summer in my house and in my rental property, unfortunately. And I did all the research. I went through all the companies. I found Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville and just fell in love with them. Redid all my windows and doors with them. And here's the deal with Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. You might be surprised to learn how affordable the replacement windows are, and you will love the quality and the customer service that comes with what Pella does. You'll also love the deal they have going on right now, too, by the way, because if you're like me, the last thing you want to do is spend money on new windows and doors, but you know you have to. And right now, they're giving you 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. I did the research for you. I found out Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville are the best, and you can utilize them too. Schedule your free consultation. Check out that special offer they have going on. All you have to do is go online to do all of that. Ask for my girl, Brittany. She's the best. PellaNashville.com.
They give it to Henry again. He finds room up the middle. 40. Henry 50. Henry 40. Henry 30. Henry 20. Henry 10. Henry 5. Henry down at the 4. Cisco with the tackle. But Derrick Henry pops a long one for the Titans as he has just taken it 69 yards.
3HL 104.5, The Zone, Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay. Titans end Jacksonville season with a 28-20 win yesterday. 2023 is done. We move into the offseason. It was clean out day over at the facility. A lot of players talking with the media. Mike Vrabel has yet to do that. Waiting for that. Mike Keith, voice of the Titans, with us now. Mike, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Good. Let's start with the big picture part of this. From a Titan perspective, I mean, if you're going to go out with a win and no playoffs are on the line, might as well knock out your rival and end their season, right?
You know, I never thought about that. I guess that is good.
Yeah.
You're not believing me?
No.
Well, I tell you what was so great.
Yeah.
So there was a really good crowd on hand yesterday, and not just solid from a numbers standpoint. And, you know, it's a game. I mean, you're out of it. You know, it's the end of the season, so you don't know how many people are going to show up. But a really solid number showed up, and I think a lot of people attended the game with a feeling it may be Derrick Henry's last game, and they wanted to see him one more time, and they also wanted to have a chance to thank him. And I mean, he is one of the 3 or 4 biggest stars we've ever had. Period. In the whole 25 years, he's one of the 2 or 3 biggest stars. And so they were there for that. And then it was almost as if as the game unfolded, and Derrick, of course, does what a star does in a moment like that. He meets the moment in a really special way, which is awesome. And it's just awesome to get to see. In anything, it's awesome to get to see that. If you're, seeing a singer or an athlete or whatever, but somebody meeting the moment is always special. And then the game kind of goes on, and the fans kind of just went, you know what? We may win this game.
Yeah. Exactly what it felt like.
Could you feel that in the building?
And we may just knock these guys out of the playoffs, and that would be pretty fun. And so they kept getting more and more charged up as the game went on. And listen, it wasn't the most deafening crowd we've ever had at Nissan Stadium, but by the end, it might have been the most fun crowd we've ever had at Nissan Stadium because they were kind of giving Jacksonville the business. And there were some Jacksonville fans there, not as many as I thought there would be. I thought it would be a lot of Jaguar fans, and there were some there, but it wasn't as deep as what I thought. And so it just ended up being a great environment. And if you attended that game and if you soaked all that in, there's no way you thought it's better if we lose this game. That thought would have not crossed you. You wanted to win. By the time that game was at the end, by the time Jacksonville got the ball with 2:18 to go, you desperately wanted to win this game. You were invested for everything the day had been. And then to go on and win it, fantastic.
Great for the King to go out like that, too. 19 carries, 153 yards, and a touchdown. Credit and props to the offensive line. He was running hard, but, man, it was good to see holes out there,
They were coming off the ball, and I think they'd had a good week. I think they felt really good about all of it. They wanted to bounce back from a poor performance in Houston. They knew who the starters were going to be all week. They knew Rupsich was going to have to go, so they understood that. Dillard knew he was going to have to play. And so with all of that being in place, I think everybody was a little more locked in probably. Sometimes when you're in the situation where you're hoping Brunskill's going to be able to play and he can only make it 2 series and that Rupsich has to go in cold, I mean, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. And so for that group to have the whole week to get ready, I thought they played really, really well. The last sacks was not on them, I didn't think. That was a play, that you're sitting here thinking, okay, we're either going to throw this ball deep,
yeah,
and just end the game, or we're probably going to take a sack here to make sure the clock keeps running. And the play takes longer to run. And so that wasn't, in my mind, they only gave up one sack.
Yeah, and even the one, Mike, though, Tannehill held the ball forever.
He held the ball for quite a while.
I think he would put that on himself.
He might, but, I mean, clearly, listen, you're going to give up a quarterback sack every once in a while. You just don't want to give up 64 of them. And, and that's, that's okay. I'm working through the numbers right now of the 14 playoff teams and what their averages are in certain areas. And I'll share one with you right here that really jumps out to me. The average playoff team is allowing 35.7 sacks on the season. So that's for the 14 teams that are in it. And the Titans had 64 sacks. I mean, that can't happen.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, it just can't happen. And yesterday was more like it.
Now, Mike Keith, we talked about the offense, the O-line firing off the ball. Man, what about – and I say this because two of the spots that need to be addressed going into this offseason, the glaring spots that, well, I know from my perspective would be O-line and you're hearing secondary. I don't know if you can point out two parts of the game that two parts of the team that stepped up more than you talked about the O-line. What about this secondary, man?
They did a nice job with responsibility,
mm-hmm.
and I think they may have found a guy in Kayvon Wallace.
Yeah,
that's an interesting guy. I mean, and we'll see if they if he's back or not, but. He and Amani Hooker might be an interesting pair together. They need another outside corner badly, maybe two, maybe more than two in terms of overall depth.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll see what they do in free agency, but they certainly need to add more speed out there. The other notable here among the 14 playoff teams is the good pass defense that they play overall. They allow only 214 yards per game and give up only 63% completions. Titans giving up 68% completions. And, that 5% makes a difference. I mean, that keeps a team on the field, that keeps the clock running. And the other thing, too, 6 picks. The average playoff team intercepted 14 passes this year. The Titans had 6.
2 of them against Jacksonville.
And 2 have been the last game of the year. That's right. So, I mean, that's an area where I just keep saying this team has to get more dynamic in the offseason. Mm-hmm. I think they've got to get more dynamic in the secondary, all over the defense, but in the secondary in particular. And I certainly think they've got to get more dynamic. You'd love to see them be more athletic and dynamic in the offensive line. That's not a position or a place that you usually think of as dynamic. But one that you do is wide receiver. Yeah. And they've got to add, some more guys who can take it to the house at the wide receiver position. I think you've got to add some quickness, and I think you've got to add some speed. Those guys who can, because I think Will Levis is very capable of doing quick game things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got a Tyler Lockett-looking guy, a Tank Dell type player, that can get open fast and you can, get him the ball and he can make something happen. I think that and just another guy with, that is a physical matchup. And there's guys like that at the top of this draft.
Yeah.
Where you're picking at number 7, you may have a choice of a guy who can be a total game breaker.
And also have a lot of money to work with there in free agency with cap space and all of that. So it's certainly going to be a fun offseason. Mike Keith, the Vaught, with us. And let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room here, Vaught. I'm going to start by asking you this. How unusual is it? You've been with this franchise forever. How unusual is it for a head coach to not speak to the team as a whole after this season and to not have a scheduled media session?
Okay, so the speak to the team thing, I've never been that familiar with. I would say, and I could be wrong, I'd say that's not necessarily done every year.
the press conference thing has certainly been more regular in terms of the Monday.
Yeah.
But I can't speak to the first thing because those guys are in here early for physicals. You know, that's the number one thing they're doing. Physicals, clean out the locker, and then they're off. There are sometimes some individual meetings with position coaches. People will go by and talk to the general manager or talk to the head coach, or, you know, I think it kind of varies from era, and it varies from what the year is. I don't know if Vrabel's done that every year. Maybe he has, and I'm just not aware of it, and if that's the case, I apologize. But, you know, normally it's been the Monday press conference. I think over 25 years we've deviated from that at times in the past, but that is, you know, that is more outside the norm. That part is very true.
Yeah. Well, and who knows, maybe Vrabel has spoken to the team, you know, in the past, but we also have to remember they haven't had a season quite like this either, right? Where there's a lot of uncertainty in players and all of that, and staff and everything, and him. Yeah. So it would make sense.
That's the thing is that part of it. I mean, he just talked to him after the game. It's not like he hands out at the last meeting or whatever, they hand out the individual schedule for the off season.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like awards, like team awards, like high school teams do.
I thought you were going to say any information.
No,
best dude on the team,
best attitude.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that doesn't happen for sure. But they don't go through. Okay, this is what the schedule's going to be, and this is when you have to be back here, and that's not done today. You know, there's plenty of time for all of that to happen down the line. So I read that, and I mean that may well have been the case, and may well be Vrabel may have done that every year from what I'm aware of, but I've never been aware of it in the past from the standpoint that it was, you know, that I heard anything about it. Guys said, "Boy, that was a great message," or "Coach said we need to do this," or whatever.
Right. Do you remember when Malarkey was fired, that time frame? I mean, it was after a playoff win, right? And then
Malarkey did the press conference on Monday.
Okay.
And then I think he was let go on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think.
It was pretty quick,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But not the Black Monday thing.
Right.
No, it was not, because he took heat that day because he was asked about the offense and the offensive staff. And he was like, "Nope, we're going to keep doing this." And it's like, oh,
which maybe could have been why he lost his job.
Was that when Clay Travis and Steve Underwood had their discussion, or was that a different time?
That was a different time. I was there for that. I saw that. Yes.
Yeah, that was.
I don't remember that. So.
Yeah. Anyway, there have been a lot of press conferences over there. That's for sure. That kind of stand out.
There have been.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, obviously, I know none of us really know anything or what's going on or why there isn't a Mike Vrabel into the season press conference, any of that. But what is your take on just kind of where this franchise is, big picture, Vaught, with Mike Vrabel, with Rand Carthon? We haven't heard from Rand either. And I know usually that's like a week or so after the season, they usually kind of schedule that, but where this franchise is, and I know you can't say a ton, obviously, but I feel like Titans fans feel like they're kind of in limbo, with what's going on. Is Mike Vrabel going to be back? Is he not? What's your take on all of it?
We just went 6-11.
Mm-hmm.
And last year we ended the season losing 7 in a row, and we changed general managers. And so we're in the process. This year was a reset, and had it gone well, I told some people before the season that I thought we could win 10 games.
Yeah.
And I thought 10 games would be what it would take to win the division. Turns out that was right.
Yeah.
So give me one. Thank you.
It just wasn't the Titans, right?
That's my one for 2023 that I got right. But the fact is, with the margin for error we had, because we didn't have a lot of money to go out and get marquee players, we needed some things to happen, and they didn't happen. A couple of our free agents didn't work out. A couple of players we were counting on for real production didn't work out. It just didn't happen, and we lost 7 one-score games.
Yes.
So as I keep referring to these numbers that I stare at here, there are some that really jump out about playoff teams and where they were different from the Titans, but there's some where the Titans were better than many of the playoff teams, which is really kind of hard to believe. The team did some things right, and yet they didn't do enough of them. So I think the evaluation goes on to figure out what the next step is. There are some core players who are here, and this rookie class has shown they're going to help us. There are some things that can go forward. I mean, you see Tajay Spears yesterday. Tajay Spears is dynamic.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what a dynamic player looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I think Will Levis is dynamic. I think you look at him throw the football and you say, oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
On the screen pass, real quick, if I encourage people to freeze frame that thing when he catches the ball and look at the traffic that's in front of him and think, this dude's about to score a touchdown?
And figure out how.
Crazy. Well, and they've got to find some more people like that. Jeffrey Simmons is dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Danico Autry is still dynamic. And, I think a lot of people hope that he comes back. And so the way forward is what's being determined right now. And I think that really started when the team made the general manager change 13 months ago.
Yeah.
And this season has been a continuation of that because the team had no cap money to speak of. They weren't going to be able to do a lot of things. They had to take some chances, and some worked and some didn't. And yet, here we are. But I don't think – this is not where we were in 2013, 14, and 15.
Yep.
Or 2012, 13, 14, and 15.
Right.
That team couldn't have done what this team did yesterday. People have asked, they've said, where has this team been all year? Well, this wasn't your team.
I asked that.
This was Otis Reese play. This was a bunch of guys that you picked up in trades and off waivers, and they were having to play, but they, much like Derrick Henry, met the moment. And from that standpoint, you say, okay, there's something here. How do we take this up? Houston went from 3 wins to winning the division. It wasn't all C.J. Stroud either. He played well, but it wasn't all C.J. Stroud. And you felt like they would take a step this year because they had some people. They just needed to add a few more, and they clearly have. So I think that's if I'm talking to any Titans fans tonight or on our wrap-up show at 6 o'clock, I think the patience at this moment comes from Amy Adams Strunk and the organization examining everything and figuring out what comes next to be able to maybe be that team next year and for the next few years to be right in the middle of it again. Because there's some, the quarterback thing feels good. The running back thing feels good. A few other things feel good too, but there is work to be done unquestionably.
Yeah.
Mike, you got your 25th season banked. You ever take time? I know you are in the moment, always looking ahead. Do you ever take time to reflect on it?
Absolutely. On a day like yesterday, Ron, that was meaningful. That was meaningful to see our fan base and what this franchise means to them, to see what that Derrick Henry means to them, to see how they showed respect to Ryan Tannehill and what he's given over 5 years, to the way they supported that defense on that goal line stand and made noise, to everything. And people would say, are you looking forward to coming to the stadium yesterday? Absolutely. Absolutely. There are times that you do this that even surprise you how much it means to you. I wanted that fan base to be able to walk out of there with a win, and they made me appreciate what we have here, this job, and what we're going to have here going forward. This is going to be an exhilarating offseason.
No question.
This is going to be so much fun. There'll be Titans news basically every day when you have actual things happen, and on top of that, daily speculation, every single bowl game, like the Senior Bowl, the Combine, 8 1,000 mock drafts, everything that you guys talk about on your show and the other shows. I mean, it's going to be fun because we can be the dealers in the action for once. Last year, we had to sit back and watch everybody else. Yeah. And this year, we're going to be one of the teams dictating the off-season pace.
Love it.
And it's about time.
Out of purgatory.
Yep. Mike Vrabel's show coming up at 6 o'clock. How are you handling that today? What's
it's
the
a recap.
content?
Yeah,
okay.
the head coach is not on that show anyway.
Okay.
Because that's we're recapping clean out day and kind of going through.
That would be that'd be a hell of a get if you had Mike Vrabel on tonight.
Yeah, it would.
Well, thanks for the pressure.
No pressure.
That's not going to happen. Truthfully, that was not planned 3 weeks ago. This is how we handled this last one, because if the coaches are not already out of the building here in a minute, they're going to be out, because this is a day they can go home and be with their families and go out to dinner and be normal dads and mom, with the dads and all of that. And that's not ever how we've done the last one for that reason. He gives us a lot of time. He's very generous with his time, and we can handle this last one to kind of tie everything together. And so that was always going to be the plan.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that so people wouldn't run with it. Oh, Vrabel's not on his own show today.
No. This is a recap. Now, I mean, sometimes there have been a couple years where he's walked by me in the hall and go, "What time's the show tonight?" I'm like, "Huh?" And then the years that I say, "Hey, would you like to do something?" I'm going out to dinner. Why are you asking me that? So I mean, it's so this year we just planned we can just do this without asking.
I love it. Well, we'll be listening, Mike. Appreciate it as always. Thanks for these weekly visits during the season, man. You're a rock star.
I love your show and enjoy being on with you. And I hope you'll have me back during the course of the off season, because, like I said, we're going to have a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be, for Titans fans, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been saying for months, like this is going to be the craziest offseason we may have ever seen here. So there's always going to be something going on this offseason. Thank you, Mike. Great stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
For those that are asking, Don called him. Who's Don? He called you Ron, and it shook me. I was like, "Who's Ron? Why is Ron on the show? Who's Ron?"
How you get on him?
But Babsy asked him or called him Vought. And so if you're wondering what that is, that's voice of the Titans. So there's that. All right, more 3HL next, 104.5 The Zone.
Great news for all of you out there, and Loan Pronto is who you need to call, because the mortgage rates have come down in the past couple of months. Loan Pronto helping you take advantage of fixed rates with APRs in the 5s. So let's say you got stuck with a bad mortgage rate last year. Loan Pronto can help you switch it out, a much better payment. Right now, they can do it fast, and you don't need an appraisal, and there are no closing costs. So call them. LoanPronto.com. Lower your payment now. Maybe you're buying a new home now that the rates have come down. Loan Pronto can and will beat anyone else's rate. That's why I refinanced with them in the first place. And the whole no closing cost thing helps out too. You start the whole process on LoanPronto.com, and it makes it easy. So don't wait for the rates to go back up. Seize the moment. Snag a great rate for your new home purchase or for a full refi. Or you could even just get cash out of your equity in your home if you don't want to do a full refi. Loan Pronto can do all of it. The place to call, 615-499-5780, loanpronto.com at 499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
What's happening, folks? Ron Slay here, man. A new year has approached, and we're sitting right here in it. We are off and running. Man, it's time to get your health ready and rocking and rolling. Go to Low T Center. It's only $25 to get your T level tested. Make your health and quality of life a priority and make it a great year. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Now, right now, this is not a typical doctor's office. It's a concierge medicine for men. Their physicians specialize in treating low testosterone. So go dive into it. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
3HL 1045, The Zone, Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay. What y'all think about Vaught?
Thought that was good. Thought that was Vaught-like.
He always has such a positive outlook on things. I love it.
His perspective is totally, totally different.
I try to be that guy, too. I fall short.
Yeah, I don't even get
like
up.
a lot of people.
I can't even get up. Yeah, I need somebody to lift me up to get on the monkey ball, so I can't reach.
You got all excited at the end of the show on Friday. You were going nuts that the King was going to go for 365.
I felt that. You
I got that going in you, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You've done that quite a bit before.
I can't ever. Sometimes I can get you to come to my side. I can't ever get Babsy to come to my side.
No, Babsy likes to stand 10 toes down.
She just looks at me like, Mayor, you're crazy.
Logical thinking Don over there.
Exactly.
How's the King going to have like his best game of the season all of a sudden? Like,
Yeah, with who?
What are we doing
I even
here?
tried to take the Babsy.
There you
stand,
go.
so
I was
do it.
wrong.
Shame on you.
No, shame on the
Jokes
offensive
on
line.
you. What about the jokes on you?
Thank you. We're actually showing up finally.
All right, 5 o'clock hour is coming up. We're going to check in with Chris Lowe at 5:20 about tonight's national championship game, Washington and Michigan.
Crazy that tonight is the national championship game, and there is so much going on with the Titans.
I know,
that
and
it's hard to get into it.
And here's the thing: listen to the Zone all day long tomorrow, because you never know when this news could come down.
Seriously.
Yep.
So do you guys think that Miss Amy has met with Mike Vrabel and Rand Carthon, or any kind of meetings have happened?
That's Joe Hunk.
So. Yeah, that's
you
Hunk.
think so? I do too.
So.
Why would you allow
Hunk
it?
thinks no.
Why would you allow it to go beyond Monday?
You can't.
Get on with it, man.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Why you think that, Hunk?
I think that today they let move out day happen. They let everybody get out of the office and all that, and then schedule it tomorrow morning.
I disagree.
Yeah, I do too. If that's the case, I think he would have met with the players too. If that was the case. But hey.
And no meeting with the media, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. Even Mike Keith said that's.
Yeah. John Glennon on Blaine and Mickey, he's like, I don't remember a scenario where the head coach didn't meet with the media after. All right, we need to take a break. 5 o'clock hour is coming up. We got a lot to get to.
Let's get it.
With regard to the Titans, with regard to Mike Vrabel, with regard to the national championship game tonight, should be a fun one with Washington and Michigan. Michigan now favored by 5.5.
And with a coach that might be in the NFL next week.
That is definitely true, or possibly true, with Jim Harbaugh. All that coming up. Stay tuned. 3HL 1045 The Zone. I want to tell you about my friends at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. These are your guys to get in there and get what you need, what you want, what you usually get. You can pop in and out real quick. 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by the Publix, right there off Old Hickory Boulevard. It's easy to get in and get out with what you know you want. Now, this is where they specialize, man. Jason and his crew are ready to help you out, help you branch out with their craft beer selection, for example, their wine selection, their bourbon selection, their tequila selection. They've got it all going on. Cigars. They've got everything you need. And all you need to do is ask. Ask for some help. Maybe branching out with your bourbons. Maybe you've been drinking Angel's Envy for a long time, for example, and you want to figure out what's next. Or maybe you want to have a selection in your house. These are your guys no matter what you need. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, locally owned, serving Brentwood for more than 18 years, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. They're closed on Sundays. Delivery through the Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits app. They have curbside pickup as well. 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by Publix. Maryland Farms, WS.com.
What's happening, y'all? Milliken Corp is who I'm riding with. Yes, I want everything to be smooth. So when it comes to concrete, asphalt, grading, and drainage services, they're going to get it done. You can trust them to do any concrete and asphalt work. And yes, the one listening right now, you need that back patio done? Yeah, you need it smooth. You need it ready to roll. Well, I'm talking about as soon as you get a pinch of some warm weather, Get it done now. You don't have to sit around and wait and think that, oh, man, like I needed to get warm first before I can get my project done. No. Why wait until the spring when you can enjoy the project on that first warm day? Driveways, sidewalks, patios, parking lots, any concrete or asphalt need, call Milliken Corp. Do it today. I'm telling you to dive in. The difference between Milliken Corp and normal concrete companies is that they provide top-notch customer service, too. You can call companies, and it's weeks before they get back. Not Milliken. When you give them a call, you speak to someone directly. And then an expert calls, returns it right within 24 hours. Not your fault. If you choose the wrong asphalt, get with Milliken Corp.
Good evening from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Huck. The Titans made news just a little while ago as they have already started hiring or signing players to futures contracts. One of those includes cornerback Shaheem Carter, which we saw a lot in the second half of the season. Now, as far as teams that are making decisions today, the Commodores, who are they? The Commanders, though, they've made a few decisions. One, Ron Rivera is out. Two, they are hiring executive Bob Myers to run the franchise. Who is he? He is the architect behind the Golden State Warriors and their 4 NBA championships. The Panthers have announced that they have fired their general manager. The Falcons have announced that they fired, obviously, Arthur Smith, their head coach, as well. The national championship tonight, Huskies at Wolverines. You can watch it on ESPN in an hour and a half. And Junior Colson from Ravenwood will be playing in that game for Michigan. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone, Monday edition. They call it Black Monday in the NFL. There are how many? 4 or 5? 5.
5.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 NFL head coaching vacancies in the
4 now.
In the NFL. 4 now, yeah. You could get one in Chicago. You could get one in Nashville.
Hey, that's us.
Crazy end of the season talk right now.
It's going to be a crazy offseason, man. I keep saying.
Crazy.
Dude, if you love the entertainment aspect of sports,
this is it.
This is your offseason, man. With all that cap room, free agency is going to be fun.
No karate.
Number 7 overall draft pick. All those mocks and testing and the combine and the Senior Bowl and all those things are going to be so much fun.
How many mock drafts did Mike keep saying? 20,000, 80,000?
18,000 or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, and we're going to talk about all of them.
Yep, sure will.
I love mock drafts. I know a lot of people don't, but
lean in on them.
They're showing Art Smith on NFL Network. He got fired shortly after midnight. He didn't even get to go to sleep, man.
Dude, he lost it in the post-game handshake, too.
How do I?
Yeah, that's appropriate.
I don't like the mustache. What's going on with the mustache?
I don't know. It's got to go.
Everybody with this mustache.
I think he'd be a better head coach if he didn't have that mustache.
It'd be
You'd be a better head coach if you had better players.
Well, I mean,
he don't even got guys, too.
he does have guys.
He just ignored one of them for half the season. 2
Kyle
of them.
Pitts, Drake London,
Bijan Robinson.
I wish we could get 3, not in a row, because I mean you just bad here, but like it was this year.
You know who we do have? Dawn Davenport. She's sitting right there.
What up, man? That's Buck. That's Buck. Twitch, please. Twitch, please.
Happy Monday.
Please.
Black Monday.
Black Monday in the NFL.
I do feel for all the staff members that are sitting on pins and needles waiting to know what's going to happen and if house is going to be cleaned out or what.
Man.
Because if Vrabel's gone, everybody's gone.
Yeah, because you got to think there's so much crossover in between.
How much is
J-Rob's
still
guys,
left over from J-Rob's, like scouting staff?
Vrabel's guys, Rand's guys that he brought in.
Yeah. What about those 3 offensive line coaches?
Well, they gone.
Yeah,
They better be gone.
they got to go.
Babs found out Thursday. We're getting ready to do the show at Buffalo Wild Wings. She's sitting at the table. She slams her pen on the table and says, "They have 3 offensive line coaches. How did they not get better?"
2
They did, man. They ramped it up for that last game.
Yeah,
Babsy.
they did. They did.
They
You heard
ramped
me
it up.
talking mess about him.
It was so hard.
Assistant O-line. 2 assistant O-line coaches, along with Jason Hoftailing. I can't even say his name, but it doesn't matter because he's probably gone.
Hightailing it out of here.
Yes. I'm sorry to his family if they listen.
See, can't that be the?
Well, I mean, they know the job that he's in, you know?
I know, and they know the job that he wasn't able to do. Now, part of that might be the talent that he was given, but
Listen, you can't just let something fly by.
Nope.
Got to go right back in.
Get him, Babsy.
Mr. Babb says that I have a problem with that. I don't know what he's talking about.
You remember was the last year? Was the last year that Babsy was getting not put out of the restaurant, but
Oh, that jerk. I remember that guy. Yeah, I straight got got threatened to get the cops called on me.
Was that at Kane Prime?
No, it was
a different restaurant. I forgot the restaurant.
I forgot the restaurant too because I've never been back.
Oh, Morton's?
No,
it wasn't Morton's. No, I can't
it was like
remember
an
though.
old school one.
Yep.
It was a steakhouse right
It was
downtown.
a steakhouse.
though.
It was a steakhouse.
It was like a nice.
I can't remember which one it
place,
was, man.
Because we are.
Is it the one you like over there on Broadway?
Nah, that's Chris like. She liked that. Eddie V's.
Eddie V's, yeah.
No,
No, it
I
wasn't
love
Eddie
that
V's.
place. No, they would never. They would never. It wasn't Jeffrey B.
Vaz is walking out here trying to have a good time, and people threaten to call the cops on her.
Like, what you mean call the cops on
That happened at Starbucks, too, basically.
Oh, no. That was different.
Now that one was different.
That was different because somebody
back to my
cut
car.
in front of me in the line when the line was long, and you don't do that. There's proper etiquette in drive-through lines.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
just
crazy
Starbucks.
woman cut in front of me.
Crazy.
That was a couple years ago. I probably wouldn't have done what I did nowadays. You never
Yeah,
know.
everybody-
Might have gotten
everybody-
taken
yeah,
out. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure she was frightened when I got out of my car and knocked on her window, but she would not talk to me.
Whoa, lady, what are you doing?
Then I asked the
Oh, here we go.
barista at the window when I ordered, I said, listen, the person in front of me is not a nice person. She just cut in front of me. You should spit in her coffee.
Ooh, Pepsi is so harsh.
You're a woman of action.
She deserved it. You don't mess around with that.
Listen, you should be like the Turk over at the Titans facility. If like some of these assistant coaches need to be gone, they should let you do it.
Let 'em go.
Yeah.
go
They
to the
see
bathroom.
Babs coming.
I just go and walk
Like the
up. Just
Grim
start gathering
Reaper?
your stuff. Yeah, just gather your stuff on up. Don't
Grim
even
reap
hang
your
around.
way out of here.
Ti-
It seems like Miss Amy does a good job of that.
I mean, she's
She's
awesome,
boss, man.
But
Know what to do.
she is a boss. That is definitely true. Titans in Jacksonville season with a 28-20 win yesterday. Derrick Henry went out in style, 19 for 153 and a touchdown. Everybody chanting Henry, Henry,
Man,
and a little bit of jokes on you.
joke's on you.
Ha ha.
I got that. I got all the tweets. I got all the texts from all our listeners. I love you all.
All the
But,
receipts on Babs.
Yeah. Etch. That's where I got. That's
Etch.
where the manager did not appreciate me.
Appreciate it. That's a good one.
Well, I'm glad you got out of there without an incident.
It
Have you
was
been
close.
back?
Hell no, I'm never going back. You will not laugh loud in our restaurant. How dare you?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
It's a tough place for me to be. I laugh all the time. From Paul Kawarski, no team meeting with Vrabel today. Ryan Tannehill said that some years there is, other years there is not. Players were available during locker cleanout. Coach Mike Vrabel not available today. Probably had his meeting with the executive committee, so to speak.
Upper management.
Yep. And so, I mean, listen to the zone all week long. News is going to happen a lot this offseason. Stay tuned. We're going to talk a little college football. Washington and Michigan going at it for the national championship tonight. Chris Lowe from ESPN.com, senior college football writer, next on 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, good people, man? I need some watches. I mean, some nice watches. Where would you go? I know where I'm going. I'm going to Brentwood Jewelry. That's right there at 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Why would I go anywhere else when I know I'm going to get an exceptional style, an exceptional deal, and they've been doing that already for 50 years, people. Yeah, you count it up. Family owned and operated for over 50 years, located in the heart of Brentwood. They have raised 3 generations in Nashville. Family proud to serve you in the community. From Salem serving in special forces to his sons being local firefighters. You don't get more embedded in the community than the Amalie family. Did I say that right, Euro? I know you used to say it. Thank you. I did say it right. Team at Brentwood Jewelry knows that quality and cost are always a consideration. Whether you are shopping for an engagement ring, pearl necklace, luxury watch, you'll be happy to know Brentwood Jewelry's everyday price is the best price. So get on over there, 7012 Church Street East, or hit them up on BrentwoodJewelry.com. Ron Slay here, man. A new year has approached, and we're sitting right here in it. We are off and running. Man, it's time to get your health ready and rocking and rolling. Go to Low T Center. It's only $25 to get your T level tested. Make your health and quality of life a priority and make it a great year. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Now, right now, this is not a typical doctor's office. It's a concierge medicine for men. Their physicians specialize in treating low testosterone. So go dive into it. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, the executive producer of 3HL, is Joe Hunk.
Sup?
Slay is in the building.
I'm in the building.
Tennessee.
From Nashville, Tennessee, at 6'8".
Told y'all.
Power forward.
Ole Miss is a really good team. What they don't do,
Tennessee blasted Ole Miss.
they don't box out.
Y'all better buckle up, because this car ain't got no roof.
19 offensive rebounds.
19.
Man, I'm telling you, if I can see that just watching, what you think they doing with film? Smooth breakdown. And that's one thing, real quick, and we're going to let you go. But what Auburn did to Arkansas, yeah. No, keep me on the line because I want to let
Yeah, because you're out of the area.
Auburn did to Arkansas the worst loss ever in Bud Walton Arena in history.
I wondered that. I saw it like 30 points or whatever.
The worst loss in there. That's amazing. That's a
You
tough
thought
place
that
to
was
play.
going to be a
Yeah, it was supposed to be a barn burner.
tight one, yeah.
Man, Auburn got on their neck. Sheesh. They ain't got no point guard to Arkansas, man. It's going to be a problem. I don't know if Musk's going to be able to coach his way out of this one.
Well,
It's hard to
you
play
know
basketball
what?
without a point guard.
There's a nice portal waiting for you at the end of the season.
Yeah, he probably going to be in the portal.
Washington and Michigan going at it for the national championship tonight. Chris Lowe, senior college football writer for ESPN.com, joins us now. Low Dog, what's up? How are you?
What's up, guys? I don't know what was better Saturday, Jonas Adu's performance or Slay's suit in the SEC Network studio.
That's a good question. Sue was pretty sweet.
Hey, dude, with 24 points.
And 12.
And 12. Dude.
Yeah, getting better. He's getting better. I tell you what, man, they've got that team, and I've seen them a good bit once live. The only time I saw them live was against Illinois, which is a good team. But they've got the pieces, and I think they've got a lot of guys on that team who are unselfish. Like, you probably can speak to that better than I could. But guys like Adu, who's getting better, Zakai is starting to round into shape. And I still think the heart and soul of that team is Jemai Meshack. I mean, that guy will do anything. He's the kind of guy who shows up, practice and game, and he looks at the coach and he says, "Coach, what do you need from me?"
Yep. I totally agree.
Just a burst of energy, too, when he comes out there. And when you go to the bench and get better defensively, that's something else, too.
I put that out on.
Yeah, and I'll say this, too. Last year, as tough as it was for Tennessee to lose Ziegler there at the end of the regular season and the postseason, the minutes that Meshack got playing lead guard, having to handle the basketball, playing the minutes that he did in those situations, do-or-die games, were invaluable for him this year.
Yes. Absolutely. Ain't no question about it. I said that, man. If you put me in a foxhole and I had to pick two players from that team that I'm going in with, give me Zakai and give me Meshack. And I know I'm going to be all right. We coming out fighting. Either we going down fighting, 1 and 2.
But you're going to be fighting.
But we fighting, though. Yeah.
Chris, what do you think about this matchup? Michigan, what a great story. Michael Penix Jr. having 4 seasons end with injuries and then having this year where he did battle through some stuff clearly, but it looks like in that matchup with Texas, he looked 100%. What do you think about this matchup tonight?
Well, he's the hottest player on the field, and I think he's probably, when you look at the totality of the season, I think he's the best player on the field tonight, and that's always a good thing when that player is your quarterback. And I mean, to me, he's the poster child for everything that's right about the transfer portal. I know people complain and bellyache about the portal, and there's a lot of things they got to fix about that. But here's a kid that had a chance, was not the most highly recruited kid. Once upon a time, he was committed to Tennessee. I know Tennessee fans get tired of hearing about that. But he goes to Indiana, and he gets a shot at Washington, and that offense and the way they've sort of structured everything around him, he's blossomed and playing with a ton of confidence. He's got 2 really, really good receivers around him, and he's got an offensive line with a couple guys I think will play at the next level. Here's my thing: can Washington in their front 7 on defense, can they handle it when Michigan comes at them with that sledgehammer offense and they come off the football? Yep. Because Harbaugh would love to run the football about 50 times tonight, and just
hit him in the mouth with Blake Corum over and over and over.
And that kid. Penix is a great story, but Blake Corum too. I mean, I had a chance to talk to him and spend some time with him in L.A. He's about 5'5", and he's like trying to tackle a bowling ball. You know who he's like? he maybe not quite doesn't weigh quite as much. He's like Travis Henry at
I knew you was
Tennessee.
gonna say
You
that.
could never get
Jeez.
a square hit on Travis Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Corum's the same way, man. You cannot tackle that guy. You better get him at his ankles or his knees, because if you go above his knees, you're not going to be able to get him on the ground.
I saw him rocking the cowboy hat, cowboy boots, the big old belt buckle today.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Travis Henry is a good example. And then, you mentioned him, and I immediately think of that Arkansas game when Billy Ratliff recovers that fumble, and their 1 minute offense was Travis Henry on the ground game over and over until they scored the winning touchdown.
Yeah, and Corum's another guy who he had the injury last year at the end of the season and was not able to finish the season. So you sort of got two guys like that have similar stories. They're on opposite sides of the football tonight. And again, that Michigan, I was so impressed with Michigan and their offensive line and their defensive line against Alabama. Now, it's not like they just blew Alabama off the ball, but when they needed to drive the football in the second half, that one drive, they did it. And in the first half, Michigan's defensive front, absolutely got after Alabama up front. So those are the things. You still win these types of games in the lines of scrimmage. But, the equalizer, the great equalizer is always that guy behind center. And if you can throw the football and you have as many big stage games now as Penix does under his belt this year, think about it. They beat Oregon twice.
Yeah.
Really good Oregon football teams. And they beat Texas, a Texas team that I think if you lined up Texas's top 30 players, most talented, let's say this, their most talented 30 players, Texas was a more talented football team than Washington. Yet Washington won the game, which tells you something about the job DeBoer's done in that team, period.
CeeLo, you tell me who gets the tip of the cap when it comes to coaching between these two coaches, because like you just mentioned, going against Oregon's coach doesn't hold anything back. Gonna go for it on fourth downs, cool with doing fake punts. Same thing for Texas. You got talent like that. Like they put all their cards on the table and go get it, and Washington didn't flinch in either one of those games. So, and you know who Michigan is. It's kind of straight direct with Harbaugh. Who do you tip the cap to as far as coaching goes in this situation?
Yeah, I'll say this, Slay. If you gave every AD in the country right now a card and said, all right, put three names on your card.
Mm-hmm.
If you could go hire any football coach in America right now, I think DeBoer would be on just about all those cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's that well thought of.
Yeah.
And what he's done, the way he's come in there, taken that program to where they have. He's such an even-keeled guy. His team plays that way. There's never any sense of panic. But I think this is Harbaugh's last game. I think you're seeing Jim Harbaugh coach his last game at Michigan. I think somehow he'll be in the NFL next year. Just all signs point to that. His team has rallied around all the things that have happened this year. They've rallied around him. I think they know. I think those kids know that. Talking to guys like Trevor Keegan and some of them out there in L.A., I don't think they really care. I think they look at it like this guy came in to his alma mater. It took him a while, but he's got us now to this point where we've sort of been able to bond as a football team, and now here we are with a chance to play for a national title. I don't think that's been a distraction at all. Right. The Jim Harbaugh odyssey or whether he's going to the pros. I just think this is such a close football team. Who do I give the edge to? I think Harbaugh. I think because of the way he's gotten that team to play its best football, the way they responded after a month off. Now, they haven't had a month off, since this last game. It's a week, so it's a little bit more like a regular season type deal. When you go a month with guys that don't play a football game, and usually Saban's at his best in that situation. Well, I thought Michigan outcoached Alabama in that game, which says a lot about Harbaugh on down to his staff. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I give a slight tip of the cap Slay to Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan staff.
Chris Lowe with us from ESPN.com. All right, Chris, that Michigan defense put Alabama in so many stress situations. Are they going to be able to get after Michael Penix Jr. like they were able to do against Alabama? And if so, will he be able to take advantage of situations where he's got man-to-man coverage?
Yeah, well, Penix has played more football than Milroe. He's been able to play a bunch. He's had a lot of reps and a lot of different types of situations, games. I think he'll get rid of the football quicker. He'll feel the pressure better. Milroe was not sharp, and again, the kid had a great year, but he was not sharp to start that game in the Rose Bowl. You could tell the month off really affected him, and the offensive line at Alabama. I think Penix will be sharper. I think he'll have a better idea who his hot routes, where his hot routes are, who he needs to go to. He'll get rid of the football. He's done that all year long. But, yeah, they're going to have to protect him, and he's going to have to get rid of it because Michigan will come after him. Michigan is really good at both corners from Michigan. Will Johnson, another kid who's played this. The same is true. I think he's played about 8 years now at Michigan. He's a kid who converted from receiver. They're both really good, make you earn everything. But I do think this will be, for Michigan, a tougher challenge going against Penix than it was against Milroe, because Milroe looked a little bit lost in the first half of that game. Now, they came back and played better in the second half, but I think Penix is going to have a few more answers of where to go with the football and be a little bit more prepared with what Michigan does to him than Milroe was. Certainly to start the game last Saturday or Monday.
Do you think we get a good game tonight?
I hope so, man. I mean, after what happened last year in the title game, and fingers crossed, because this is really the first time, or at least maybe the second time since the playoffs started in 2014, where we had two really good semifinal games, outstanding semifinal games. And you think back, guys, a lot of semifinals in the playoff era have been stinkers. I mean, just runaways, routes.
Yep.
And that wasn't the case this year. Bama, Michigan was great. Texas, Washington was great. So I'm hoping that continues tonight. Two teams are a little bit different. As you said, Brent, you hit on the road. Michigan wants this to be a rock fight, man. And they want to just run the ball and bloody Washington's nose, keep Penix off the field. And Washington wants to come in and spread them out, throw the football, hit them with some big plays, soften them up, and then run the football when they need to. And I think a lot of that, obviously, they're going to have to protect. In Michigan, they come after you. So I think it's when you look at the matchup, there's a lot of things that make this an intriguing game. And I know some people, we're sort of in the SEC footprint, are bemoaning the fact there's not an SEC football team. The rest of the country, saying, you know what? We finally get to see a championship game.
Yeah.
Where there's not an SEC.
SEC, that's what I was going to say. What's Sankey doing tonight?
We'll see how that shakes out. I cut my teeth on SEC football, but both these teams, Michigan and Washington, have proven over and over again this year that they're really good teams. And for Michigan to close out and beat Ohio State in the regular season championship, their regular season, and then beat Alabama in a money game in the Rose Bowl, their schedule was not very difficult this year. Michigan's, I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say that. But, man, when they've had to deliver on big stages, they've done that. And as I said a minute ago about Washington, it's so hard to beat a team like Oregon, who was as explosive as the Ducks were this year. To beat a team twice like that in your conference says a lot about them. So, and for them to beat Texas, I thought Texas would win that game. I just thought they were more talented. I did not think Washington would be able to handle the interior of that Texas defensive line. There's 2 or 3 pros right there in the middle of that Texas defensive line, and they did, which probably bodes well for Washington tonight against Michigan. Because I'm going to tell you what, there's some grown men in the middle of that Michigan defensive line as well.
Yep. There's something to be said, too. Like, Washington's kind of owned that. Like, everybody picks against us. Go to the Pac-12 championship game. Go to the semifinal game. Go to this game. Everybody keeps picking against us, and we keep showing up. You know what I mean? And there's something to be said for that mindset, too.
Yeah, but I can tell you what, go to ESPN's main football page right now, and I can tell you one person who didn't pick against Washington. And he's the same one that was kicking it was Ron Slay back in 2001, 2002, when Slay was wearing the headband, and I was following his butt all around the country covering him.
Absolutely.
Were you out that night in New York City?
No, I absolutely not. Now, I'm not saying I wasn't out. Okay.
I think it was more fun when we got in than it was out. But, hey, listen, CeeLo, let me hit you with this one right here. All the hoopla that's always surrounding it, and talking about the best team, we need to see the best for the best. Man, you get 1 and 2. Like, you, as much as you want to people want to talk about it, this is the number 1 team and the number 2 team facing off in the national championship game. And in the past, these have been barn burners as far as points being put up.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Everyone's going to complain. Well, should Georgia have been in it? Should Florida State have been in it? Hey, 2 unbeaten teams, 2 teams that won their conferences, 2 teams in the semifinals got it done in close football games against really talented teams, and now they get a chance to play for the national title. I hope next year when we go to 12, there won't be some of this acrimony. But the bottom line is, guys, when you have 5 power conferences, sooner or later there was going to be a season like this when somebody got left out, that when you look at it from 1,000 feet away, you say there's no way that should have happened. But the system was just imperfect. It just was. And really, they got lucky these last 9 years once they started down this road. This year they weren't so lucky, and there were 5 or 6 teams that anybody with any, realistic, reasonable about football could look at 6 teams and say, well, these are the 4 best, these 2 aren't. And I think that's what happened. Because certainly you could make a case that Georgia should have been there as well as Florida State.
Love it, CeeLo. Enjoy the game tonight, man. Always appreciate your perspective.
Okay, guys. Take care.
And his little nods to your days at Tennessee.
Those are always good.
Chris Lowe had a front row seat for all that.
Yes, he did.
That was a hell of a group. If you could have played with any group at Tennessee, man, that group seemed perfect.
Hey, it was one
for you.
I'm telling you. And I'm gonna be honest, like the guys that came up reporting, like Hubs, Mike Strange, Jimmy Himes, like all those guys that came up, like they were, like you said, they were cutting their teeth and like they were on their journey with us. So I know they was like, boy, we miss UNLV, but boy, we ain't missing this one. this might be just as entertaining. Hey, something about Vrabel, man. So somebody in the chat said, man, this Vrabel talk is leading all sports shows, and it kind of is. When you think about it, and you always hear that underdog mantra and things of that nature, and you think about the face of the Titans, and you automatically go to King Henry. Is Vrabel's name and face as big as King Henry's when it comes? Because for this to be a small market, and Vrabel his name to be out there as far as could be walking away or be released or whatever you want to put, for him to be leading shows, or is it just this is what we got to talk about if you're the NFL?
Yeah, this is that day.
Okay.
So, with the jobs coming open, so people are talking about Dennis Allen down at the Saints. People are talking about Eberflus in Chicago.
Yeah.
So, you're just kind of these guys are looking to further stories.
Yeah.
To get more clicks and all those things, but they're also trying to do their job and all that. So we'll see. Is he bigger than King Henry? No.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think not in this market.
Yeah.
Is he?
I don't think so.
No. I mean, Mike, he said it well. He's one of the 3 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Mac, Eddie, King.
Like that's a mean. That's tough. It's a tough ledge to be on by.
Speaking of the King, hear more from Derrick Henry when we come back. Stay tuned. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Genetic stress, hormones, aging, all natural and inevitable factors that lead to hair loss. Fortunately, there is a proven way to reverse common and even rare patterns of balding. Using groundbreaking technology, Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment regrows your own natural hair, even in those places where it's disappeared for years. And it works for men and women across all ages. Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology and top-rated physicians have improved tens of thousands of lives. But time is of the essence. Hair loss from natural factors can eventually reach a point of no return. So schedule your free consultation today and find out if you qualify for $500 off. Call 629-348-HAIR. We might not be able to prevent all the causes of hair loss, but you can regrow your own natural hair with Advanced Hair. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. That is 629-348-HAIR. or advancedhair.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. The Mike Vrabel Show coming up next with Mike Keith and not Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, he probably has a couple things to do.
Mike
Last
Keith
game?
explained to us today that this is a normal last show, that the head coach never comes on the last show before everybody wants to run wild with that. But with regard to the Vrabel situation, you said earlier you were 70-30 that he would not be back.
Yeah.
You still at 70-30?
I probably up to about 80-20. Just want to sit on that little fence. Like the 80-20 fence.
Don thinks he's gone.
Yeah.
I don't think he's back either. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Heezy, what you think?
I want him back, so I'm going to say he comes back.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Look, everybody said he's gone.
Can't get what you want.
Well,
this
I'm
ain't
just
what-
saying.
But
this ain't what
sometimes you
we're
get what
Yeah.
you need.
Yeah, I mean,
What you
again,
want,
I
what you
don't. I
need.
don't think
That's
that,
all right. Go against it, huh?
Well, I
Yeah.
don't think the
Do what you
Titans
want, man.
fans understand how good of a coach they have, and that when he leaves,
Well,
you're going to be like,
I
oh,
don't, but I don't. Guess what? I don't think it's the fans that want him gone.
I mean, every fan base has a
I mean,
percentage
yeah,
of the
that
fan
want-
base
yeah,
that
so I
want
correct
change and
you.
all
Yeah,
those things.
Exactly. So yeah.
But, by the way, you can watch the show YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
On YouTube, Coach Mike Vrabel weighing in. I'm coming back, damn it.
I wrote him. I wrote him too.
Coach Mike Vrabel in the F&M
Braves,
Bake
what you
Shop
doing in there, Braves?
says he's coming back.
how was the meeting? I want to know how the meeting went.
That time was in.
Who's all there?
Who's all there?
Oh man.
Well, you would think that meeting has taken place. So, I'm,
Is there a food tray?
yeah, like a cheese plate, cheese and fruit.
Yeah, just something. Just
You think
how long
for-
it lasted?
You think Vrabel now that the season's over? Do you think Vrabes goes out to dinner with his wife tonight? And if so, do people come up to Vrabes and go, "Hey, man, you coming back or what?"
No, they're gonna go up and thank him.
No, he's not going anywhere in
Ain't
public
going nowhere,
tonight.
but yeah.
No.
They would go up. I think they would go up to him and thank him. Man, love the job you did here, man.
You don't think there'd be one?
He'd probably be like,
Joker.
"What are you talking about? I ain't did here. That's past tense." Mm-hmm.
What if Vrabel goes, "Yeah, I'm out,"
I know that'd be.
TMZ
Yeah, that would
breaks
be
it.
super
Hey,
cool.
listen.
and then Bob
Stuff
and
has been
Clarksville.
broken in
Yeah,
crazier
very
ways.
true.
That's definitely true. And then Bob and Clarksville's like, "Hey, man, I just saw Vrabes at dinner. He told me he was gone."
He's gone.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then everybody's like, yeah, whatever, dude. And then
Breaking
it turns out to
news.
be true.
Oh man,
Yep.
I love sports.
Beautiful thing.
It's gonna be a crazy offseason.
We're here for it.
Telling you. Yep, definitely here for it. All right, you want to hear from the King?
Yes.
A little bit? All right, after the game yesterday, Derrick Henry talking about his on the field prior to the game entrance where he blew the kiss, right?
I was thinking about what I was going
I'm just gonna wait till you tell me to go.
Was that planned?
Was it planned?
to do to show my love and to show my grace. So I just wanted to let him know I was recognizing him and sending my heart out to him and thanking him for everything in any way possible. It was like this or blowing kisses, whatever it would have been. Just give him a thank you.
Blowing kisses. Isn't that sweet of the King?
Just give them kisses.
Man, what a great way to go out, too.
Yeah.
19 for 153.
Holding it, Rock.
How about that? Also,
Would have been nice to have it all year.
DeAndre Hopkins hit. She can't do it. She can't just let it go.
Would have been
trust
nice
me.
to have that offensive line blocking a
During
little
that
bit better
presser,
all year.
even Derek says he should have scored a touchdown on it.
Man, Babsy's killing me.
Sorry. Go
By
ahead.
the way, DeAndre Hopkins hit 2 of his $250,000
Oh, yeah, he did.
escalator things.
And Tannehill was like, heck yeah, I was going to go rogue if we weren't going to get it for him.
Work for Jameis.
What do you say? I don't care.
Mm-hmm. What they gonna do?
I'm not going to be here.
Around here. They'll be around here
Tannehill.
anyway.
That was funny. Yeah, he got to 75 receptions, which is $250,000 extra in his pocket. He also got above 1,050 yards, which is kind of a weird number, but
Well, the
250 for
last
that.
one to do it was A.J. Brown. And
There you
before
go.
that, I don't even know.
that was Derek Mason 2004. Remember?
Oh, my gosh.
Remember I looked that up.
That's right. So I was talking to Mr. Babs last night about just the dismal wide recievers here in Tennessee. So I'm putting my vote in for the sorry. What?
What are you doing tonight,
I'm
man?
putting my vote in for the all Titans team or
You
whatever.
had a
the
tough
deck-
day today?
Yeah. No.
I've got to do that.
Being honest. Yeah, it's due tonight. Tomorrow. So
But that's the
anyway,
second deadline.
do you know how hard it's going to be to pick wide receivers?
I haven't looked at it. I don't know.
Oh, I have. It's hard.
Dawn has like 10 charts. Brett's just going to look at it and go, all right, we're going with those 3.
This is how I do my Heisman vote. It makes her so nervous. I
I
walk
pull
up.
like obscure numbers to figure things out.
Oh, I do that for the Heisman thing, but I wait until the last second.
No, you wait. Yeah, and it's going to burn you one of these days.
Well, this year I got past the deadline, but they still let me do it, so that was good. They might not next year. I don't know.
Yeah, we ain't gonna keep on putting it on.
Jump through hoops to get my vote in.
Listen, Coach Mike Vrabel on here said Dawn's the new GM. Let's go.
Can you imagine?
I'm over public affairs and video games, so I appreciate that.
Oh, good. That's perfect.
Slay's coaching offensive line.
Yeah.
Well,
You're assistant
can't be any
GM.
worse.
I got the O-line job.
Can you imagine if Rand Carthon the GM and Babs the assistant GM?
Yes.
Good cop, bad cop.
Well, we know which is which.
Worked in the movies.
That's for sure. What does Derrick Henry plan to do for the next few months?
Well, this is the first time actually a free agent. So, I got tagged the first time I was supposed to be, and then, was able to negotiate something after that. But, I don't know what it's like. It's my first time actually being a free agent. Just going to enjoy the time, talk to guys around the league who've experienced this before, get some advice, talk to my team, and then go from there.
That's all I got for it.
Can we squeeze this one in, Hunk?
Yeah. Also, this music's only playing because it's the only one that will fire, so it's nothing. Doesn't mean anything. It's the only music I got that works.
Is this your signal that Vrabel's not coming back?
Yep. He's just sitting over there looking through the window of Bill Belichick's house.
Would the King be open to returning to the Titans next season?
Ooh.
Any player would love to play for one franchise their whole career. And us getting so close like we did and not finishing it, that's always going to be in the back of your mind. So, I want to bring a Super Bowl here really bad. That's one of my main goals. No matter how I do during the season, just want to bring one here. And who knows what'll happen. But at the end of the day, any player want to play for the organization their whole career. But it's a business.
Love you, King.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Nope, there's no chance. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be here.